my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, nah, likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains, I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things, gonna make a f***ing name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate it, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent, and it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots, if I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. That energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can try me. If you wanna hate this, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fight me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste it, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate it, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself. I wake up every minute with a fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact. Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it. I'm my own worst enemy, only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Hello and welcome to MyMindoverYourMatter. My name is Rick. Let's start the show. Tonight's show is going to be a short show. It's not going to be a long show. I feel like crap. I said I was going to come on here, but I was kind of second guessing it. And I was like, nah, I would just come in for a little bit and maybe do a couple of psychic readings and then bounce off of here and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I've got to turn on this camera. No, doesn't want to turn on now. Sometimes you got to give it a little wiggle. I guess it don't want to work. I guess the lighter died out on it. This is the type of lighter which is pretty cool. I bought this at Dollar General, and it's a big lighter. It is a big lighter, and as you can see, it doesn't want to turn on. And it should turn on, but it doesn't want to. And the good thing about these lighters that I bought, it's not one of these throwaway lighters. You see it's black, so it blends in with the picture back in the background. But you open it up back here, there's a little button, and you push, and it opens up. And it's a regular lighter. What? Are you kidding me? They make these things like this? Yeah, they do. You put the lighter, and you put it into this other lighter, and it transforms into a big lighter. But this lighter seems like it's dying. It seems like it's on its... Yeah, you can tell, like, it's dead. But it's okay. You know, Rick is always prepared with another lighter. Because that's one thing that I have a lot around here, especially at my desk. It's lighters. So we're going to go ahead and charge it back. We're going to put it right back in. Actually, does it go this way? This thing is this way. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see how this shit works. Okay. And then we'll put it back together again. Hopefully. There we go. And just put the cap over it. And that's it. Ta-da! Ain't that such a genius? Ain't that so cool? That you could like use a regular big lighter into one of these long lighters, and it's a detachable where you just take out this plug here, and you attach the the inner bic and the bigger one, and you just push it in and you cap it, and that's it, and it works. That is so cool. I mean, for me, this works for what I use, and I love it because it's kind of like a forever lighter. The only thing I always got to replace is just these big lighters, which is I got a whole bunch everywhere. Like my desk, I'm telling you, I got big lighters everywhere. Look, I got a whole pack right here. Let's do a zoom in. Let's zoom it in. Got a whole pack of lighters here. And it's more of American safe, longest lasting lighters, Bic. And Bic is here out of Connecticut, if you're wondering. I should one day go to the Bic factory and take a tour. I think that would be pretty fun to do. And the Pez. Pez is really cool too. We have Pez out here also. And they're in Orange, Connecticut, which is where my doctor's office is located. I should go one day, maybe one of these days I'll go in there and show you the pegs and probably purchase a couple of pegs and maybe give them away. If they give them away, if they because I'm diabetic, I can't be really eating candies like that. Okay. But how's your Sunday going, everyone? I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I don't have any stories pulled up yet, just because this is a spur in the moment. You could tell at the time that I started. I had to push it back 15 minutes because my system was giving me a little hard time, but I was able to get it going and just here chilling. Gonna chill out tonight. I don't know if y'all want to watch news or hang out. I'll let you guys dictate the show for today. It's gonna be a slow running show. I just feel this weather, the rain, the cold, I don't like the way it makes my body feels, especially with the metal in my neck. I feel horrible. I still haven't even rolled up my medicine yet. I'm just so behind. But make sure you drink plenty of water. Always drink plenty of water. Let me see what's in the news, because I could probably plug a couple of videos here for us to watch. Oh Lord, I hope you guys like the little entry I did here. I don't know if you noticed. I don't think you guys noticed, but in this one here, give me 1 second. Check that out. She's wearing my Mind Over Your Matter apron, and she's throwing out Zohan Madani's garbage. On the garbage, it says Zohan Madani, because he's in Puerto Rico, and this is a Puerto Rican grandmother. And she opened up her door, and she's throwing out Zohan. She's like, fuck this shit. We don't need that motherfucker. I love it. I'm so creative. I know. I pat myself in the back. I'm very creative. But we do have the second camera up. As you can see, let me turn it on here. I don't even have the candles on. Let's see if I could show you guys. Yeah, you see, second camera is here. So I think I gotta roll my medicine. I'm just so behind. I took a nap today too, because last night I had a rude awakening again with my brain that really attacked me really rough last night. And I was able to fall back to sleep from it, but it's getting very concerning and how it's shocking my head really hard while I'm sleeping. I'm gonna go tomorrow to my sleep doctor, and I'm gonna provide and show him the videos that I have of the times of this thing happening to me, and see what we're gonna do from there. Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna take me in to do the sleep study, put all the wires in my head, and get this study done, because something's attacking me in my brain at night, and it's a really strong impulse feeling. It's a strong current, like really strong, so strong that it feels like you're being punched in your brain, and it wakes me up out of my sleep. and it's very concerning and it's very scary. And if you want a reading, just let me know in the chat. If you want a reading at any time, just let me know, and I'll leave that video. I'm gonna leave this video running. It is the live video here. I have my camera here. Let me put the. I hate this case. I feel like breaking this little piece here off because it's always hard to put the damn charging cable with that piece. All right, let's fix the angle here. All right, it looks good. It looks pretty straight there. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. You see my cards are here. I got this at the. Where did I get this? I got this at the Dollar Tree. I got it at the Dollar Tree and I saw it. It was so cool. I was like, it'll be a nice little box for my cards. And it has Psychic of Salem and it has Tarot horoscopes, and it's life, love, money. It's such a cool little box. It was so precious. And I was like, yeah, I could keep I got my 2 decks here. I got the Animal Spirit Tarot deck and my Rider-Waite deck, which is my go-to deck right here. So if you want a reading, you let me know. This is my watch. Sorry about that. I keep my watch here, because I have my other watch on, my digital one. But I'm gonna take this one off. Actually, let's put it to charge. I also have my pendulum here. It's right here. It's my pendulum. Let's get it all nice and let's put this down here. There's the pendulum. We can do anything you want tonight. We can answer any questions if you want, if you like. If nobody wants, then nobody wants, but the camera will be on. I got some medicine that I need to roll up. I need to scale up. Let's see if I have anything in here. I doubt it. I smoked 2. Yeah, damn. Smells good. I opened this medicine and if you had smell-o-vision, like smells so good. Just go ahead and scale this up. Like I said, tonight it's really like I'm going like how the weather, like shitty. I feel shitty, so I don't feel like doing much tonight. Like I said, I made a commitment to come on here. I really didn't want to come on today, but it's okay. Let's go ahead and scale that out. Go ahead and get some medicine here. And I'm gonna need a couple of these. Oh, that was a good number. Okay. And I scale mine's out at 0.5. So, and what I do is I'll put 0.5 of one medicine and I'll put 0.5 of another, and then I'll mix it together. So that way I'm smoking two medicines at once. Here's another one. Smell that. Yeah, you know you want to smell it. I want to smell it. This must be the Fleetwood. Yep, Fleetwood pie. Smells so good. Smells so good. You guys let me know how you like the double cameras. You can give me your opinion. I would have had this done earlier, but like I said, I feel like shit. I would have had this earlier, but I wasn't feeling good, and my body wasn't feeling good. And I take some medicine, but the medicine is not really helping right now because it takes a while for it to activate in my body. It takes about an hour for the medicine to kick in, so that's not a good thing. We're definitely gonna roll up, and then we'll find something to watch. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna find something now so you guys can watch while I'm rolling. Okay, what do we have here? We got a CBS. Can we do something better than fucking CBS? I guess it's gonna be a vote tonight. Day 40. We're in day 40 already. Oh my goodness. Day 40 of the stupid. Oh, come on, YouTube. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I really hate this new update on YouTube. I truly hate it because when you put it to pause, it'll pause and it'll start up by itself. It's like what? Like what the hell is going on here? All right, we could see what this is about. This is more about money, but that's okay. We could deal with that. Let's bring this over here. Come on. You see what I mean? It starts again. What is wrong with you? Are you kidding me? Yo, it's like YouTube does updates and it fucks everything up. Just like fucking StreamYard. They do an update and they mess everything up. And it doesn't happen for everyone, but man, up here in the Northeast, it's horrible. Horrible every day. They do some kind of tweaking and they're not helping. They're like messing shit up even more and more. And it gets very frustrating. Especially for content creators that are trying to get this shit, put together right, and then they constantly fucking up. It's like, ugh. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, you guys could watch this while I'm rolling up. Let's go ahead and make it big for us to watch, and let's click and enjoy. If it starts when I put it,
live now from
fuck.
I am Andy Mack, as it is day number 40 of this ongoing government shutdown.
Need the
But
StreamYard
as we have
too.
not seen prior, some optimism right now on Capitol Hill. Live picture right there. Senators busy.
Hey, what's up,
A
Bobby?
rare Sunday session. We did see different lawmakers speaking, and we're also expecting this, according to Fox News's Capitol Hill reporter Chad Pergram, saying there potentially could be a test vote between 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern, so about 90 minutes or so from now. They're confident that we'll get the requisite number of Dems to help break this filibuster. Also, watch if there's kind of consensus on the GOP side. The senator from Kentucky, Paul, has opposed tax votes on their spending bills. Let's continue on here on Live Now from Fox and bring in Capitol Hill reporter for Semaphore, Eleanor Mueller. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. And obviously, this is a step in the right direction. I don't know if it's ultimately going to get the job done, but what's the sense on Capitol Hill? What are you hearing?
The sense is that it is definitely more optimistic than it has been in the last few days. Senators came in this afternoon for a lunch. The Senate gavelled in at 1:30, and they left their lunch, or at least Republicans did, talking about how they think that there's momentum for a deal here. That deal is going to be, three bipartisan full year appropriations bills, text of which was released just now, and then a continuing resolution that would run until January 30th. So extend all other funding levels through January 30th. That would then be accompanied by some kind of GOP concessions on healthcare, maybe even federal worker layoffs that have taken place as part of the shutdown, but we don't know exactly what that looks like yet. We really just know the appropriations piece and the continuing resolution date. And so, yeah, we'll get that first vote here in a little bit this evening on advancing at least the broad contours of what a deal could be.
Yeah, and obviously there are some hurdles that are still left to overcome in terms of this. But let's get to the heart of the issue. You mentioned that potentially pushing off some of these Affordable Care Act subsidies, those Obamacare subsidies that are really at the heart of this. What are we hearing in terms of that? You say it's going to happen potentially until December. How much of a concession is that for Democrats?
So, this is what we've been talking about for weeks, right? Is this idea of Republicans promising Democrats a vote on extending the enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies later this year. What's being talked about right now is a vote in December. Again, that matches what we've been speaking about for a long time now. And I think this is going to be the struggle for a lot of Democrats, right? This is what they've been saying for weeks. It's not good enough. This is what they've been saying. They can't trust Republicans to deliver, in part because they haven't been in the room with Trump, who's the ultimate decider on so much of this. And we've already seen at least one House Democrat, Richie Torres of New York, come out and say, hey, if this is the deal, then I don't think it's a good idea. We're not getting anything guaranteed as a result of what is now the longest ever shutdown. We're really just getting a handshake agreement that eventually there will be some kind of vote.
How much pushback could there be from Democrats? I know when I believe they're kind of holding a meeting to kind of get on a unified front. What are we expecting to hear from the Democrats? Are there particular names we should watch to see any reading between the lines when a vote does come to be called?
Well, the game that's been relatively quiet so far today has been this group of 10 to 12, mostly centrist Democrats who have been meeting for days now on a bipartisan way to reopen the government. That includes folks like Jean Shaheen, Angus Kang. I think it'll be interesting to hear from them firsthand when they meet at 6 on why they think this concession is good enough, how they can sell it as not a cave on Democrats' part. It'll also be interesting to see how that left wing of the caucus responds. So how do those liberals, like, for example, Elizabeth Warren, talk about the odds of signing off on a deal? And again, they really only need, 8 or so Senate Democrats to actually pass this thing. They will need every single one of them to not object if they're going to do it in a timely manner. Otherwise, it could take days to get this through.
That's a very good point. And I do want to put up this from my Aisha Hasni, our Fox News team, talking about some of those names, as you've mentioned. Shaheen, King in there, Kane, Warner, Warnock, Ossoff from obviously Georgia, Fetterman, and Cortez Masto have been a part of the group kind of voting along with those Republicans as well. And you mentioned maybe potentially some of the splintering of this. Is the Democrat Party, in terms of this government shutdown, do you sense more splintering from there where there might be some divides as they bring this forward? Because they've talked about it before. The Republicans haven't even brought a vote before. Now we're at that moment. Could that divide Democrats?
That, I think, is the ultimate question. I think that's what everyone's going to be asking about at this 6 o'clock meeting. That's going to be what people are watching. And during this first floor vote, it's an interesting question. And I think even for the folks who end up not voting for this thing, so again, those liberals that don't think that this is good enough from the GOP, how are they going to talk about it, right? Like, what does the political selling of this look like, even for those in the caucus who don't wind up voting for it? Are they all on the same page and saying that, hey, this is the best we could get? Is this, what we need to do to avoid additional suffering as a result of this shutdown? Or is there really open criticism of colleagues, in their perception, maybe taking something that just days ago they were all saying was not good enough?
And can you explain it to me? Because we talk about this possible test vote in terms of this. What is that?
Hey, 7
in line for that? Does it mean
right
that
there, brother.
passage goes on to the House? How does it exactly work?
How you
It's
been?
a little bit wonky. Basically, to get anything done in the Senate, it takes several votes. And so basically what they're talking about doing tonight is a vote on reconsidering the House passed government spending bill. Now, that's not what's being talked about. What's being talked about is a completely new deal that includes, again, these full year appropriations bills and then a new, longer continuing resolution. But they're going to, as the vehicle, line up this House bill. And then as they work through any potential issues, changes to the text that they're talking about today, they will eventually swap that out for the House bill. So again, lots of procedural votes required in the Senate. The vote tonight is not going to be on the bill that we're discussing negotiating. It will be on the bill that the House passed before it left town, but they will eventually swap it out for what they're talking about now.
So it doesn't have to go back to the House. Am I hearing that correct? Is that accurate?
So it would have to go back to the House, basically, because they're going to swap it in for this completely new Senate negotiated bill. Then Mike Johnson would then have to call the House back amid all of these air travel disruptions, which I think is a big question. Obviously, we're seeing flights delayed, canceled across the country. All of his members are in their district. So he's got to get everyone back here. And then I think it's also an open question, what the House Republican position is on this idea of promising a vote on extending enhanced Obamacare subsidies. We've seen even members of leadership like Steve Scalise say, I will never vote to extend these subsidies. I see real problems with them and with Obamacare writ large. So lots of questions there.
Yeah, it's a good explainer, good protocols, because it's interesting how kind of the wheels kind of turn there slowly on Capitol Hill. Let's talk about kind of the two scenarios. Let's talk about it going as perfectly as planned. If the test votes in the Senate, everything kind of goes up, and then Mike Johnson has to call everybody back. How quickly can it come together that the government reopens?
Best case scenario, no senator objects to this bill in the Senate. They pass it within the next couple of days here. Mike Johnson has said he'll give members 48 hours notice, and then that's 2 days after that. So best case scenario, everything goes according to plan. House passes it as soon as they get back, which we're not sure if they're going to do. Things could reopen middle of this week. So going to take a couple of days, even if everything goes as well as it possibly could, odds are, again, it's been 40 days of no government funding that they won't. But that's what we'll hopefully get more indicators about tonight when they vote.
And let's not to be the cynic on this Sunday, but let's say everything goes the exact opposite direction and it does hit some snags. Are we back to square one? Also, potentially, could Trump be the ultimate veto in this? Could he call Republicans on his way to the Commanders game and say, we're not doing this? Is that a possibility?
It is always a possibility. Then I think in that case, we would be back at square one. The good news is that at least there are some signs that the administration is on board. And we know administration officials told Punchbowl earlier today that they think that the deal that's coming together is a good deal. And so if Trump sticks to that, if his administration sticks to that, then hopefully that won't be what winds up happening. But again, nothing is ever for sure. So we'll see.
And are you hearing anything, or are there any conversations within the Democratic Party behind some of these closed-door meetings about holding out this government shutdown because they did so well during some of those elections? Obviously, they're winning a lot of the narrative. That's what a lot of people are saying. Do you think there's any of those conversations? They don't want to be those public because so many people are impacted, but do you think Democrats kind of somewhat maybe potentially have a sentiment like that amongst their members?
Yeah, I think a lot of the members actually said so openly last week. They said going into the election, we hope that this shows Republicans that voters are on our side and resisting Trump. And then they said after the election, I think it was Senator Catherine Cortez Masto coming out of a meeting with those centrist Democrats who've been talking about reopening the government. She said, I'm fired up. The election has, in essence, given me reassurance that we are doing the right thing by insisting that Democrats or Republicans give us what we want and what we're asking for. So I think we've seen some of that fade. I think maybe if the elections had gone differently, we might have been at this point a couple of days ago. But now I don't think that, to the extent that it was an issue, it seems to be dropping off somewhat. And hopefully, we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, that is correct. And I was going to ask you about some of those pressure points, and you noted it, the election. We also noted in these flight delays and TSA members calling out sick, flight traffic controllers there not being in the office as there's delays, cancellations mounting up as well. How much of a factor was that? Do you think that is one of the pressure points? And if it continues on, how much does that even ramp up further?
I think it's absolutely a pressure point. I think that especially after Friday, where the administration said that it was strategically shutting down some pockets of air travel so that it could maintain safety across the board. It's bad, right? We've seen lots of cancellations, we've seen lots of delays, and I think that there is a acknowledgement among the lawmakers who are involved in these talks in the Senate that Thanksgiving is really the hard stop. You can't have things running the way they are in just a couple of weeks from now when most of the country is traveling to be with their family, to be with their friends, and so we need to have something resolved by then.
No, that's so very true. Obviously, so many people traveling, getting out, and we've seen the weather also play a factor, snow and cold temperatures at different places. Eleanor, I'm going to give the floor to you one last time before I let you go, but anything else you're monitoring, anything else we missed?
Not that I can think of. I guess the only thing I would say is it's not just concessions on healthcare that senators are talking about. They're also talking about some kind of agreement on reinstating those federal workers who were fired during the shutdown.
Wow, are you still making the movie?
What that would look like, but that
holy
could
shit! How long is that movie you're making?
Who may not be convinced yet that agreeing to a later date on healthcare would be enough.
Yeah,
Let's see an update on it.
Republicans can put forward.
I know you're doing a great job with it.
We potentially have optimism, but there's some stuff still to be ironed out in terms of these working, some hurdles left.
I want to see it.
This is far from a done deal. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I know busy at work on the weekend, as all those lawmakers are as well. Thanks again for joining us, Eleanor. All right, thank you so much. All right, great conversation. As always, breaking it all down there. Capitol Hill reporter, politics reporter for Semaphore, as it is almost right now 5 o'clock on the East Coast in Washington, D.C. You can see a live now look there at the U.S. Capitol building. In just
earlier.
about an hour or so, we're expecting the Senate to resume, be in the session as a potential test vote. You heard some of the protocols from Eleanor about exactly
people, they
how
get
it
paid
works, and
to
it's
do
somewhat
this
complicated, or
stupidness.
I guess I shouldn't say
It'll be
somewhat. It
about
is
20, 30
complicated how it
minutes.
would go
Okay.
through to make
I'm
all
looking
of
forward
these
to it.
happen, and then eventually would have to go back to the
I want to
House.
be
Mike Johnson would have to call the House back into session, as he gives members there some 48 hours to get back to
I want
Washington,
to be a
D.C.
critic
And with all of the weather
and let you
and
know
travel conditions out
how I
there,
feel about
that
it.
could also complicate things. So we're following it closely here on Live Now from Fox. Day 40 of this ongoing government shutdown, the longest in American history. We're back.
That's crazy. That's stupid. The longest in day 40. I wonder if they're going to reach until like 47 to match up with the president. Like he's the 47th president and we're going to hold out until like the 47th day. I don't understand the Democrats. I really don't. But, you know, they're so happy with their victories. And yeah, they did win. But did they really? Did they really win? To make everyone like suffer, that's winning. Okay, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know my time is coming up soon, and I know I will be dying soon. But man, what a way to go out to see so much disappointment, especially New York City. I am so disappointed in New York City. But the fact that they got infiltrated by a lot, I'm talking about thousands upon hundreds of thousands of illegals flooded New York City, and I guarantee you they voted more than once. I know, I feel it. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my body. I feel it in my soul. Like they need to do an audit and an investigation into the elections in New York, and I guarantee you, they're gonna find a lot of crazy shit. Just letting you know. But I'm looking for 7 for that video for your movie, man. Just when you have it ready and stuff, I want to check it out. Like I want to see, and I want to be a critic. I want to let you know how I feel about it. Let's see what I got here. My phone's going crazy. Why is my phone making so much noise? What are they trying to tell me? Let's see here. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else on here. Okay, I don't know what that was. This is what I do on my phone. I'm checking out, as I'm doing that show, I'm checking out other news, other things, other stories. I'll come back over here or close this out. I'll go over here. I see what they're trying to suggest to me. I guess there's shots fired at a gas station in San Antonio. That's crazy. Leslie Graham. This is backfiring on Dems, of course. More indictments coming. I hope. I mean, they're dragging their feet with that. That's for damn sure. Oh, a life flight crash. Where in Tennessee with 3 victims. Huh. We may have to check this story out right here. This one right here. This life flight. We're gonna have to check that out because that was a crash that happened earlier today, and that was in Tennessee. And this is JLR Investigates that has this story, so we're gonna check that out. And then we got rain in Connecticut, freaking rain. $2,000 for Americans. Do I really want that money? I don't know. Trump, if you send it to me, I'll be happy. I think a lot of people will be happy. So this one here, we're gonna definitely check out because there has to be more to that story. So, I'm gonna put my phone here. Let's see what else we got here. Florida driver hits, kills child walking to school with mother. Oh, that was 5 days ago. Are you kidding me? I guess it's the vote of the House, which is they're gonna have a vote. Are they gonna open the government? I don't know. Yeah, so let's go ahead and close this out here, and let's bring it to the big screen. I'm gonna see what the hell happened with that light flight. We have like those flights here. We have those helicopters here, and they're a lifesaver, you know, because those are for like really critical individuals. Every time I hear a helicopter here, it's a light flight because there's no regular helicopters that fly around here, only the medical ones. So we got this. Let me see what we got. Let's check out this story because this story is very fancy. It pauses here. Let's move this over here. Let's make it big. Do a little couple of clicks here, couple of clicks there. All right, let's check out this. This is the one I saw on the phone. So let's start it up.
There was a helicopter crash in Tennessee. One person dead, 2 people critically injured. It was a life flight helicopter that crashed. Wilson.
Yeah, I agree too, Seven. It is a civil war, but they're trying to bring it out to the people, for the people to fight.
All of you, because there was 2 life flight choppers in the sky, and on radar here, the other one crashed and it just vanished from the radar, and then the other chopper was circling around the crash scene. Scary stuff, folks. But these are people out there saving our lives. These are, you know, medical from Vanderbilt personnel that are transporting patients back and forth. I'm going to share this footage and share what happened here with this helicopter crash, and then we will further discuss. Check it out.
Okay, so it shows one goes down and one. Yeah, I know, making those moves. Oh shit! Yeah, look, it went off the map. But did the other helicopter see? Oh yeah, look, it did see. It's hovering over it. Yeah, it's hovering where the helicopter fell. See how it's going back and forth?
One person is dead and 2 others are in critical condition after a life flight helicopter crashed in Wilson County. It's now left a small community shaken.
Oh,
The Wilson
wow,
County
someone
Sheriff's Office
died.
says that helicopter crashed along Cairo Bend Road yesterday afternoon.
Oh my
Vanderbilt
God.
University Medical Center sent us a statement saying they are saddened to confirm
How
it
come we didn't get
was
this
a
news
Vanderbilt
yesterday?
life flight helicopter that crashed.
Fucking media,
There
man.
were 3 crew members on board. 1 died and the other 2 are
Getting
critically
vibration.
injured, now receiving treatment. They say no patients were on board at the time. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office says the FAA and the NTSB have now taken over the investigation to find out what caused that crash.
You hope that God is with them, because it is really a harrowing thing. And you never know when something's going to happen.
This morning, several first responder organizations and county leaders offered their condolences after the crash. Wilson County Mayor Randall Hutto posted a statement saying in part, quote, "Our hearts are heavy tonight in Wilson County. Please join me in praying for all on the life flight helicopter, as well as their families and coworkers." And Sumner County Mayor John Isbell also released a statement reading in part, quote, Please keep our partners, their families, and their crew members in your thoughts and prayers during this difficult time.
We're told this was a Vanderbilt Life Flight, a helicopter that transports people during emergencies. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office says a pilot and 2 nurses were on that flight that crashed off of Caro Bend Road. Right now, we know 1 person is dead, 2 are in critical condition. They're being treated right now at Vanderbilt. Meantime, 1 man in the area told me he heard the crash the moment that it happened.
I was visiting my sister, and when I got out of my truck, I heard a loud boom. Well, if I'd have knew what it was, I would have probably tried to went to it, but I didn't know. So, it's a bad situation.
Yeah, very
The
bad.
NTSB and FAA will be investigating this. We'll get more information to you as soon as we can.
Now, on this channel, we have covered numerous helicopter crashes and plane crashes since the beginning of the year. It's almost coming regularly.
Yeah.
It's a very sad situation that happened in rural Tennessee outside Nashville, Gallatin. Beautiful area. Was in that area looking for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, who is still missing. Our thoughts and prayers are with, the personnel on there. Scary situation, but what is going on with all these helicopter crashes? There was a medical helicopter that crashed
the earth, man.
in Mississippi months back.
The sun and the earth
situation. What's happening here, folks? They say aviation's at its safest, but I'm not so sure. Government shutdown. We've got a lot of air traffic control. Do you think that factored in? We don't know what caused this helicopter crash, but just wanted to share really what's happened here and that footage with the flight radar. Scary stuff, folks. I monitor flight radar all the time to see, what's up in the air. Right now, we've been looking at flight radar about all the traffic, air traffic backups on the runways throughout the country. Whew. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Vanderbilt community. Let me know what you think. Sub to the channel, hit the notification button. Praying. Scary stuff happening in the skies lately. I am JLR Investigates. We will talk soon. Stay tuned.
I believe this is my hypothesis. This is my theory. I believe all this energy that the sun is producing and releasing and hitting our earth on a daily basis, that it's making us feel a certain way. It's making our brains act a certain way. Like me, for the past week, my head has been driving me crazy, waking me up in the middle of the night with sharp pains in my brain. It's something definitely is going on, and I'm not sure exactly if it's Earth that's releasing some kind of energy and it's making planes act a little weird and helicopters acting a little weird and having a lot of accidents. It's a big possibility, and it's a scary possibility. And are we truly safe in the skies? I always thought that, look, there's going to be a day that there's going to be nothing in the sky, no crafts in the sky, because of the energy that's not going to let us fly. I think we're going to be succumb to ground travel. And if you want to travel anywhere, you're going to have to do it by boat or by car. The skies are going to be very scary. And man, how would that be? That's like throwing us back into the Stone Ages if we did that. Imagine transportation and freight and all that stuff that has to be, traveled here. It can't be flown here. Imagine a day with no planes. That's a good title for a novel or for a movie, possibly. Maybe an indie movie. Okay, so let's see what else I brought up here. Let me resize a couple of things because I did open up a couple of videos for us to watch. So let me just set them up and resize them. Okay, I already saw that one. I pulled up a couple of good ones. Let's go ahead and click this one. Definitely want to get an update on that. Okay. Just gotta resize. I'm just opening up a couple of videos for us to get in. But YouTube is, I don't like their new setup. Seven, did you have the new update on YouTube? Because I really don't like it. I mean, it seems like everything's a little off with YouTube as of lately. Let me see. I think there's another video here I want to pop up also. Usually I have this ready before the show, but today I just was doing a couple of things. I wasn't feeling good. I took a nap. It's been a while since I took a nap. I took one today for 2 hours. Um, and it really was beneficial for me for the nap, but it really, listen, my body really hurts and it sucks, and this pain is not helpful at all. And I'm not gonna let it slow me down or stop me or prevent me. Sometimes it does do that to me, and I hate it when it does that to me. That it really like throttles me down. But I'm just trying to go against the grain and try to push forward. Okay, so this vote, I guess the Senate stands in recess until 8 p.m. So it looks like in an hour and 21 minutes, we're gonna have Congress going back into session. So I don't know if I'm gonna be on for that because I'm not gonna be on here for that long. I'm not gonna be on here for long. But we're gonna get some snow. People out there, be careful. There is possible blizzard conditions and around, I would say, the New York area. Um, the Great Lakes area is being hit with its first snowfall of the season, and there's a lot of snow, a lot of snow coming down. I could pull up a video of a storm chaser. How about that? We could check out some snow. Let's see if I could. There's a couple of storm chasers right now. I don't know exactly where they're at, but we will find out together. Let me see if there's any more storm chasers. Let's see. Yeah, these people are still in recess. Yeah, they're in recess until 8 p.m. I'm not going to chase that. I'm not chasing that. They better just vote the motherfucker to be opened up and stop playing motherfucking games. You know, and no, I don't see nobody protesting in Washington. How come nobody's up in Washington and protesting? Open up the government. Open up the government. No, you don't hear any of that stuff. You don't see any Black Lives Matter protesting. We need our food. Open up the government. We need our food. Open up the government. Like, no, all you see them is outside of ICE facilities protesting. No justice, no peace. Like, like it's crazy. I got a couple of good videos here. I'm opening up, but it all is just very like I don't know what the hell's going on with YouTube. But it is what it is, and just gonna have to deal with fucking YouTube. And I hate when they do updates. I really, really, really hate it. It doesn't really like help. It's very come on. I hate it because I click it to pause and it doesn't pause, and it's like you wait like 2 seconds later, then it'll pause. I'm like, what the? It was never like that before, and that's what frustrates me because I'm like trying to set this up in a way, but YouTube, I don't know, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix. Have you heard of that saying before? Come on, buddy. Got to get them all resized and ready for us to watch. Like I said, I got 2 storm chasers. I don't know which snowfall they're chasing. I do got a video of the ice. Let's see what else we got here. I'm telling you, I did not open this, so why is it opening by itself? That is so frustrating. Like this new setup, like when you make the picture big, it opens up the chat by itself. I didn't request for the chat to be open. I actually closed the chat, and it'll still open up the chat. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't put it to open the chat. Like I closed the chat. Okay, what is happening here? Okay. You see, it's doing it again. What the fuck is wrong with YouTube, man? I hate when they do that. There's so many other things that they can improve rather than tampering with the video and the channels. It's just not good. Okay, guys, let me see. Let's go. Where we're gonna go? All right, let's go to the Let's go to Portland. Of course, the video's not the fucking. The audio's gone. Of course. I tell you, I can't stand them. I can't stand these people. It's YouTube and StreamYard. It's like it's a 2-for-1 deal of frustration. Okay, this is what's going on right now in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to put the music.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing. You got the handicapped people standing outside with canes. You got this one. I don't know. She's like a cane here. You got one in a wheelchair here. Like what? Why are they standing here? Why they continue? And it's just a small little group. You know what I mean? Like if they have this much time to stand around and to do nothing, why are they not working? Why are they not working and being productive to the country? You know, no, they just want to stand there and look stupid. All right, let's see the snowfall. Let's see where are we at with snow here. Let's tap over here. Let's go over here. Where are we? We're in Indiana. So this is South Bend, Indiana. Oh, they got a good amount of snow. Yeah, a good amount of snow. Look at this. South Bend, Indiana. You guys are under a
Also, turn lane for
warning.
sure or not, but we're in it.
You got a lot of lake effect snow coming down. Indiana, you guys are getting it tonight. Today's harbor. I don't know what harbor that is. Let me see what harbor is that. That's Michigan. Let me check on my map. I was gonna go to that area there. So that's South Bend. So South Bend over here. So that is Benton Harbor, and that's Michigan. What we're seeing right now is South Bend, and in South Bend they're getting a lot
Holy crap,
of snow.
Jaden! That car dealership video's already got almost 95,000 views.
So we got that there, and then we're gonna go over and check. Let's go ahead and pause this here, and we're gonna check over. I guess this is New York lake effect. I'm not 100% sure, but let's
we're on these tires a little bit, and there we go.
Let's see where we're at here.
Grip better than I thought they would.
I wonder if this is New York. Oh no, this is
might be the limited.
Which is called Indiana. So what's it?
This has the e-locker.
I can't even say that.
It doesn't have any limited slipping in there. It's just the e-locker's off. Maybe I should try with the e-locker on. I don't know. Probably doesn't even matter. Yeah, traction, all that stuff's off. Like I can't even get it to.
But I want to see a New
even in sport
York.
mode.
I know New York is getting hit heavy with snow right
Man,
now.
your
Let me see if I
costume's
can
like
find
super
it.
light. Come on, dude. Go, go, go. A little quicker.
Let me see if I can
This
find
guy
it.
behind me just honked at me. There's a guy in the crosswalk. You want me to just take the guy? I want to go back there to ask that guy. Like, do you just want me to run the dude over? Like, that's your problem. Jesus.
Oh no.
Honking at me. Like, dude, I can't go. There's a guy in the crosswalk. Oh yeah, this is where I can't get through. Let's just go the other way.
Let's see if I could. We do got some more news to watch. YouTube, you guys are horrible. Whatever job you guys are doing is not great. Like the worst.
Let's cut through the same parking lot. That way this guy can honk at me while he's waiting for me to make the turn. This dude is in just some sort of hurry for no reason, man. I tell you. Oh, found a curb. Anybody coming? Oh yeah, everybody's coming.
Let's see what else. I can't find a storm chaser out of New York. I wish I could find one. I can't find one right now.
Are you stopping? You are stopping. Okay.
I'd probably be better
Like a
finding
red
it
light
through my
runner. I
phone.
wasn't sure. Yeah, so I've got the e-locker on the rear end with this, so
It's going to be a
hopefully I'll
rough
use it,
winter
but
this year.
honestly, the only thing is Ford to save. I think I can change this in Forescan. I think I can remove the limit, but Ford limits you to only using it under 25 miles an hour, but I would like to use it at like 30 miles an hour because having the rear end locked in the snow like this, then you don't even need to have the transfer case engaged. But whatever. Like, I get it because they don't want people to like forget that it's on and burn it up, but sometimes there's reason to leave it, straight stretch of road like this where it can slip a little bit.
Okay, that's Indiana. A lot of Indiana. I'm getting a lot of Indiana, but there's a lot of snow falling in upstate New York, west of Rochester.
Yeah, we're starting to get some heavy snow.
But let me see if I can find it. A lot of them are in freaking Indiana. So Chicago. What's this one? It's also South Bend. Everybody's in South Bend. Yep. Yeah, I know New York. It would have been nice if they had someone out there chasing.
On red light.
Yeah, I'm so throttled down by YouTube. Like my show last night only got 3 views. three views. That's what YouTube is reporting. I got 3 views on my show last night. That's despicable, man. I don't see anything, man. That sucks. Because I see it in the radar, and on the radar, it shows a lot of snow falling in New York. Well, upstate New York.
strap south on this road. Dude, my blinker's been on. What are you freaking doing? Oh, now you're flat. What are you? Oh my god. It's like, I think people just panic in the snow and just forget
how to drive.
I put my blinker on, and this guy is like in my blind spot, and so he speeds up, so I slow down, and then he gets like to my passenger side mirror and just stomps on the brakes. It's like, what are you doing? Like, now neither of us can turn.
Yeah, that's how it happens. All right, so that's the snowfall that's going on over there. I mean, it's the first snowfall of the season for the 25-26 season.
The snow's a lot drier looking.
Yes, it is looking a lot drier looking. Let's continue on with the news because I think that's what's more important right now. I mean, snow is beautiful, but we would like to get this government open. So let's find out.
It's day 40 of the government shutdown, but there are some positive signs that Senate Democrats and Republicans could come together today. We might see a test vote in hours on a revamped GOP bill that would fund parts of the government and end the shutdown. Our Chad program is live on Capitol Hill. So rays of light out there, Chad?
Just a little bit. The Senate is eyeing a test vote between 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. This is important because if they break a filibuster, then the Senate eventually has the votes to reopen the government. Republicans are bullish that they can bring over 8 to 10 Democrats to end the filibuster.
We're still working on some small issues, but we expect to probably vote this early evening on getting on the bill. And then we expect that to pass. Oh, they vote to get on the bill, then there's no reason why we shouldn't just immediately proceed to the bill too.
The shutdown is hammering federal workers in Northern Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C. Virginia Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger just won in Virginia last week. Listen to what she said this morning.
Virginians need to and Virginians want to see the government reopen. And my expectation is that we will see a Congress, a Senate, and ultimately a president driving us in that direction.
Now, Fox is told that could be a signal for Democratic Virginia Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner. Democrats did not score a concrete plan to offset the rising cost of health care. That infuriates some liberals. This could stoke the flames between Democratic moderates and progressives.
We have a binary choice. We vote for the Republican plan and we lose our ability to afford the ACA premiums, or they come to their senses and accept the Democrats' proposal of 2 days ago, which is to extend the ACA credits for 1 year.
No, don't do that.
And spend that year
No.
talking about whether there are
No, don't do that. No, for a year, no.
Changed for
Because they got
Democrats.
midterms
The
in
shutdown
2026.
became more dire with
And they're going to
aviation
shut the
delays
government down again.
and workers missing paychecks. Plus, the new spending bills address some of the Democrats' priorities until next September. John?
So what are the carrots that are offered in this proposal? I mean, something must have changed, Chad.
Yeah, let me start with just the pressure on the members. They understand what's happening in the aviation sector, but also the idea that they will open the Department of Agriculture for the entire fiscal year. They will fund the legislative branch for the entire fiscal year, and that deals with paying the Capitol police officers and so on here at the Capitol, staff, aides, custodians. That's very important to them. And the idea that, look, they're looking at Thanksgiving, and they're concerned about backing this up against that time. If they get 60 votes tonight, then they probably will vote on this sometime in the next 24 to 48 hours. That would be final passage in the Senate, and then go to the House of Representatives. So you're not putting this in the House's lap until maybe Wednesday, Thursday. So that means that you're not opening up the government till the end of this coming week. So that's why they have to move expeditiously right now. But it's that pressure right now where some people are saying, all these federal workers are not getting paychecks. There's concern in the air, concern in the skies, concerns about the economy. It's all of that coming together. It's just not one issue.
Yeah. Members of Congress shouldn't get paid if the air traffic controllers and other federal.
But air traffic controllers are not in the Constitution. The 27th Amendment to the Constitution says that there cannot be a varying, that's the term that's used in the Constitution, of pay for members of Congress.
Okay. Good history lesson there. Thank you, Chad Pergram.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click
That's
here
crazy.
to subscribe
I
to
mean,
Fox.
if you're gonna shut the government down, nobody fucking gets paid. How about that? Nobody. All right, let's keep it moving.
Terrifying moments for passengers on a flight from Fort Lauderdale to Los Angeles. Flyers saying the plane dropped several feet midair.
You see, another
Just a matter of
plane.
seconds. Those oxygen
Oh,
masks
come
dropped
on,
down after the
man.
plane reportedly lost an engine. And we have Local 10's Michaela Hightower showing us
Nah,
the
this
fear
is
in the skies
something
and
devious is
reaction
happening
coming from
behind
those
the scenes,
panicked
man.
flyers.
The moment
Something's
oxygen
not right.
masks sprang from overhead.
What's happening?
It was fight or flight. Miranda Wyatt and Dominic Narvaez sharing their scare in the air with Local 10 News.
I am very, very scared.
The video posted to TikTok gaining traction with over 2 million views.
There were a lot of kids crying.
The two were aboard JetBlue Flight 2801 Wednesday out of Fort Lauderdale and bound for LAX. They
Wow.
were nearing their destination, flying over Arizona, when the most essential thing took a hit.
She said, we just
Oh,
lost
man.
all cabin pressure over the Grand Canyon.
Struggling to breathe,
Put on your oxygen mask. Don't smoke. Put on your seatbelt.
they listened closely to directions.
You feel the pressure in your head when they were yelling at us to put our mask on.
Fear took over.
What do I need to do in the event that this plane goes down? What can I do to protect it?
Passengers braced
Nothing.
themselves, some praying, others reaching for their phones to text loved ones.
Plane is smoking, unsure of what's happening. I love you.
Dominic wasn't the only one.
The guy that was in front of us said that he sent out a very similar text message. He's like, I was texting my mom, I'm not ready to go yet, don't know what to do.
The same panic quickly making its way online. Another passenger, Catherine Swallow, posting her video to TikTok with tens of thousands of views.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
Oh no, she put the Jets to holiday.
Shaken to speak with us, sharing in the caption, she spent a year in therapy to overcome flight anxiety prior to this trip.
And right now, you can save £50.
When the wheels finally hit the runway in Los Angeles,
Damn.
relief swept through the cabin.
One of those movie moments when we finally landed and everybody started clapping.
After the cheers subsided, the pilot explained the reasoning behind landing at their final destination.
When we landed, the pilot came on and he said, thank you for your patience. They wanted me to land at Palm Springs, but I'm a old school pilot that flew A-10s.
Now all passengers want to know is what caused the mid-air scare.
I wonder what caused it. I truly wonder, because it's been happening every week. I mean, just a few weeks ago, there was a flight that came from Cancun that was going to Jersey that dropped 10,000 feet, like a roller coaster ride. Like it just free falled 10,000 feet. And I forgot how many people were injured. Even the flight attendant on the flight was injured, and they had to make an emergency landing in Tampa International. And it makes you wonder if the skies are truly safe. Do you believe the narrative that the government is telling you that it's safe? Because let me tell you something. I don't remember the government ever telling me the truth. They will tell you, yes, it's safe because they have financial interests in airlines. They have stocks in airlines. So they're not going to talk bad about airlines. They're going to try to say, yes, it's the greatest thing. Don't worry about the crashes because by our records, it's great. It's perfect. It's better than it's ever been. All right. If you believe that, like I told you, I got plenty of bridges here in Connecticut to sell you. Just pay me a high amount and it's yours. It's yours. You can have it. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, God, this Mondambi guy. I can't stand this guy. All right, here we go.
This time last year, few people outside of New York City knew the name Zohran Mamdani. Well, now he is set to be the mayor of the nation's largest city. On Tuesday, he won more than 50% of the vote, carrying 70% of voters under the age of 45 and winning 65% of those voting for mayor for the very first time. The campaign broke canvassing records, too, with more than 100,000 volunteers. CBS's Lilia Luciano spoke with some of those organizers about how Mamdani connected to voters.
How's it going, guys? You have 60 seconds to talk just about the election?
What a difference a year makes. At 34 years old, New York City's mayor-elect
He's so
Zohran
fake.
Mamdani
He's
mobilized
so
a
fake.
political movement. How would you describe the Mamdani campaign?
Fake.
Joyful.
People-powered. Authentic. It's true. The Retro card has returned.
The Mamdani message and the memes struck a chord with young voters on social media. What was the blueprint?
The blueprint was to plaster the Zohran Mamdani campaign on every facet of the internet. The strategy is to not only get into spaces where conversations about electoral politics typically occur, it's getting to every single niche where young people are within digital spheres. Makeup creators, Twitch streamers, video game content creators. We were able to generate 17 million views.
And views turned into votes.
And they did such an effective video on Valentine's Day because that was the deadline. That video of
That's
him carrying
effective.
flowers and giant heart balloons and telling people to be my Valentine. And
That's what made him become mayor of New York.
Reached so many people.
The campaign zeroed in on issues
Are
of
you kidding
affordability.
me?
What stuck with people?
Fast and free buses, universal childcare, and rent freeze, and cheaper groceries.
Critics focused on Mamdani's youth and experience and progressive politics, with President Trump labeling him a communist. Others denounced
fake
his
smile.
criticism of the Israeli government and his support
Fake,
of
man.
the
He's
boycott,
so
divest,
fake.
and sanctions movement.
These people are just
while
brainwashed
opposing
by
the
this
war in
guy.
Gaza. I remember hearing from voters who were concerned about anti-Semitism. When
Oh
people
my
told you that,
God.
what would you tell them?
I would focus on what he has been doing to keep Jewish New Yorkers safe and what he has committed to doing to keep Jewish New Yorkers safe.
Like what kinds of things?
He has committed an 800% increase in hate violence prevention in this city. We've never seen that level of commitment from City Hall.
Organizers say Mamdani's campaign is an example of politics for a new generation. Lilia Luciano, CBS News, New York.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what the fuck is going on in this world. Keep it moving.
We've got McDonald's earnings today, and the company is not painting the rosiest picture of the economy. Mickey D is saying that Americans are cutting back, especially younger Americans, and they are not alone. Cava also slashing its sales forecast again, and brands from Coca-Cola to Chipotle, Brian's favorite, say that they're seeing the same thing.
Yeah, they gotta
widening
save their
gap
money.
between customers who are trading down and those who don't have to. The wealthy are spending, but the working class is trimming their value meals. Lou, how
Yeah,
do
they
you see
saving
this? I'm
money.
just looking at all the stocks.
They're
And I was
uncertain
talking to Charles
future.
Payne earlier today. So the retail spider, the XRT, is down 6% in the last month.
Consumer
and
discretionary has
SPY
not been
is
a
up.
very strong performing sector. It's sending mixed signals about the strength of the consumer. I think this is indicative of that. You're seeing value consciousness. But at the same time, I want to point out, and I know we always bring this up in tandem with these consumer stocks, but GLP-1 drugs are now going to be the best-selling drugs in the country now, outpacing Merck's Keytruda at over $30 billion a year. So think about that. That was a cancer drug. Now this is a weight loss drug. And you're pairing that with higher costs of food and less consumption. I think this is a trend that you really have to be careful with. Like Chipotle, I don't want to pick on Brian when he's not here.
Do it.
But that stock is not just suffering from sensitivity, economic sensitivity. It's suffering from brand
I'm not a fan of
staleness and just
Chipotle.
inconsistency, which is the bellwether of good
Chipotle
franchises.
gives you the
I think
shits.
McDonald's is very similar, right? They're going to bring out the value meal. I remember when hamburgers and cheeseburgers were 59 and 69 cents. When they get north and meals are costing $15 to $20, I'm not going to McDonald's. I'm
Can
going to
I
find
add
some
on
other
to
way.
that? The problem is the price got so expensive, it's no bargain anymore. And if you're a health conscious consumer, which many of our consumers are in America, not everybody, but more are, you also realize since the inflation crisis under Joe Biden, the quality of these cheap places, dining restaurants, the quality's gone down. You're using worse oils, cheaper meats. And so I do think there's a segment of the population sitting back and saying, I'm paying more for this. I'm getting less food and less quality. Maybe there is an alternative, and the cheapest alternative would be packing a snack from home.
We were talking about the stock performance, and I think I'm surprised because they introduced about a year ago that $5 meal deal, and it really resonated with a lot of people who felt they needed the value meal to come back because things had gotten so expensive. But Lou, I know we were talking about the stock earlier, hasn't really reflected the extra demand in there. I will end on a light note. McDonald's is trying something really fun. In 500 stores, they're doing a sample test before they roll this out nationwide. Right now, it's in Colorado and Wisconsin, and the CEO said in September it's performed really well. They're testing like crafted sodas and refreshers. So there's a vanilla cold brew, a vanilla frappe, a strawberry watermelon refresher, and a popping tropic refresher. So they're trying to use those gimmicks to bring people in during sort of the low period when people aren't going in for a breakfast or a lunch. We'll have to see how it does.
Yeah, you called it gimmicks.
Little
I don't
frappe.
ever think of McDonald's brand associated with anything craft and high quality. It's just not. It's value.
But this is not about just restaurant chains and GLP-1 drugs. Even the consumer staple stocks have not been doing well. And Charles mentioned this, that 32 of the 37 consumer staple stocks are in the red. Only one is up more than 1%. And if you look at the in the S&P, they're not performing well, and it does suggest a rolling recession. And I've heard this over and over again, that if not for the spending on the AI data centers, we would be in a recession.
No, that's not true. If you look Q1 of this year, AI data centers accounted for the majority of GDP growth. Q2, you saw pretty much every other segment. This is more a classical rotation in a bull market. Consumer staples should not perform well in a bull market when tech is doing well, when financials are doing well. They do best when we get into a bear market, but it is something to pay attention to. But this is a defensive sector. You'd expect to see this going up as the markets are correcting and on the brink of a bear market. So I think it's indicative of multiple trends. And it's just like trying to put a finger on what's going on with the consumer. We've been doing that for 12, 24 months. There's no clear signal, but it's definitely a concern, because if the consumer rolls over and stops spending, then that's going to be a bad harbinger for the economy.
I think the key is in the name, the value meal, and that it's not a value anymore. And people don't see fast food as a value. They're sticker shocked actually by it. And so, they're still eating something. They have to eat. They're just figuring out, other alternatives for themselves.
There's always the a la carte option of a snack wrap.
Those aren't even that good. You talked about these new refresher drinks, and one, it seems like they're trying to be like Starbucks, and two, here's actually a simple fix that would attract more customers. Instead of putting out all these refreshers, switch to beef tallow to do your French fries in, right? That's extremely popular among my generation, especially on social media. So that's one way to bring back that younger generation who's trying to be more health conscious, while giving them your product and making them feel like they're not killing themselves.
At least they haven't tried to update their logo or anything and ruin it.
I'm going to dig my McDonald's coffee cup out of the garbage, but I have at least one black coffee from McDonald's every single day. I buy it through the app because you get a great deal. I have cut back on my Starbucks. I rarely ever go to Starbucks anymore, and I get the McDonald's coffee. Maybe these refreshers will be a cheaper alternative for people. Maybe that's what they're trying to do over, presenting craft drinks like they're something that they're not.
It's not a raging bull market when private credit and private equity firms are in the toilet.
I agree. That's why they're
Blue Owl is
clamoring.
down 14% in the last 6 months. I could go on, but I'm just saying that what we're seeing the consumer companies and restaurant chains saying is showing up in stocks.
Listen, there's cracks. The private credit, you've been early on that, and I think you've been dead right. The fact that they want to get access to 401k money to bail them out is really the bridge. So I think it's a terrible idea. It's a sign of weakness to come.
Yeah.
But not yet.
I might have been out for a long time, but to me, coming back, it feels like there's more and more talk than I've heard in a while about the K-shaped economy. And Dagan, I think you alluded to this, the top 10% are spending half of it, or supporting half of the spending. And I feel like the bottom half in that K-shaped recovery is getting worse and worse. And we could bring this back to the election, right? We could debate on whether socialism is the answer to that, but affordability seems top of mind more than it's ever been. particularly
These are the
for
lingering
me.
effects of inflation, right? We had the wage growth was just enough to keep ahead of inflation so that you can maintain your level. But we haven't seen, as inflation's cooled, wage growth accelerate where the average American is doing better. They're just not.
We're waiting for
Inflation cooled, the prices stayed up. They never
Correct.
came down.
Yeah, it's the rate of change cooled. Yeah, you're right.
Brianna, we're waiting for the one big beautiful bill to kick in.
Yeah,
in
and I
January.
feel like Republicans have a very short window. You know, they have 1 year that they have power to not only work to actually bring the prices down where people can feel it, because egg prices are down, gas prices are down. And I do think there's a big
gas
disconnect.
prices
I
are
saw on
down.
CNN the other day. Someone said, well, egg prices are still up. And Scott Jennings had to say, actually, they're statistically down. So there's a disconnect with the messaging. The
I think I'm gonna go
Republicans are doing
tomorrow
everything
and
to
show
get
you
on board
guys.
before
Maybe
2026.
maybe
And
I'll
there's
go
other
later
things
tonight
like
and
with the
show you
big beautiful
guys the
bill
gas
that are going to
prices.
take some time to be implemented.
I'll take
and it
a
might be too
picture.
late.
I
Maybe
heard
today or
somebody
tomorrow. I'll
on
take a picture of
Instagram
the
refer
prices.
to with Mondani getting elected as the mayor, it's still going to turn into an economy in New York City of people who either order DoorDash or deliver DoorDash. You're looking at Pinterest.
I can't afford the delivery fees.
Are you kidding me? You can't afford the delivery fees. No, you can't afford the tip. You want the driver. You don't want to tip the driver. We all know the truth. Delivery fees. What was that about? Let's see what else we got here. Hope you guys are having a good night. Okay, pretty good, pretty quiet. Just checking some stuff out. There's nothing much going on besides, the vote that's supposed to be coming through at around 8 p.m. It's kind of like a test vote. So it really doesn't matter if they say they open it tonight, right? It's going to take weeks for everything to get back into running normal. What is normal at this point? Because they're going to go back into that same issue in January. And they could reclose the government again in January. So I think that they shouldn't be given that leverage to be shutting down the government because of their incompetence and their lack of urgency for the American people, because they really don't give a fuck, as been proven. But you got a lot of Democrats blaming the Republicans and say, "Oh, the Republicans, look, we're starving because of them." So the Democrats never take accountability for anything. Are they invisible? Like, you don't see what they're doing, but you guys still want to support the Democrats and be one with the Democrats. All right, go ahead and die on that hill. That's your hill to die on, not mine. All right, let's go ahead and keep it moving.
Benefits went out to many, but not all Massachusetts recipients this morning. That despite an emergency order from the U.S. Supreme Court late last night. Good evening, everyone. I'm
Massachusetts
Ken
got
McLeod.
money.
The food assistance program is now in legal limbo again. And as WBZ's Samantha Cheney reports, no one seems confident it'll be sorted out quickly.
As we enter day 40 of the government shutdown,
honestly, it's been chaos.
Jennifer Lemmerman, the chief policy officer of Project Bread,
The leading statewide food security organization here in Massachusetts,
says people are just as confused today as they were on day one.
When I say that, I mean, it's certainly been chaotic for Project Bread and our work, but more importantly, it's really been chaotic for families.
Families who've struggled to buy food since SNAP benefits froze at the start of November.
We've received about 4 times the normal call volume over the past week that we would get on the hotline of people just really trying to, one, try to get some answers about what's going on, and 2, trying to plan for the potential end of their SNAP benefits.
On Friday, they got a glimmer of hope when Governor Healy announced that full benefits would be paid after a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to release the funds. But on Friday night, the Supreme Court put a pause on that order.
It's sort of changing moment by moment, and the uncertainty is having just a real impact.
Saturday morning, Governor Healy issued a statement confirming that the payments went out, but said We are assessing what this latest court action means for those who were supposed to receive their benefits next week. President Trump needs to stop trying to force Americans to go hungry and pay full SNAP benefits to everyone.
At the
But
end of
it's
the
not
day, these are
Trump's
people
fault, though.
who are
They keep blaming
seniors,
Trump.
veterans, and
Oh my
homeless
God,
children
man!
and
I'm
working
so sick of
families
the United
that
States, man.
really are
I am
just
so sick of
looking
this
for
country
some answers.
SNAP benefits are typically
and all these
distributed on
reporters.
a staggered basis, but as you just heard right now, it's still unclear if people who would have been getting those funds next week will receive them at all. In Boston, I'm Samantha Cheney, WBZ News.
Well, expect not to get shit. That's it, plain and simple. They put a hold. They have to review. They have to see how they're gonna get what they want is to open up the government so they don't have to do this and get funds and support from emergency money. No. This is not the Republicans shutting down the government. They already voted. They voted 53. They got all 53 people there to all the Republicans. They did their part. They voted yes to keep this going, but the Democrats are voting no. So, like, but how can you blame the Republicans? They don't want to fund your $1.5 trillion spending bill. No, fuck you. Fuck you and your bullshit in Washington, man. $1.5 billion trillion actually is $1.5 trillion. That's a lot of motherfucking money. And that Obamacare was the biggest disaster that has happened to humanity. You know, and the fact that we're still dealing with this bullshit president after, like, how long ago? 10 years ago since he's been like president, Obama. Like, come on, the guy's not even president. We're still dealing with his stupid policies. Like, get that. The train of truth is here. Fucking get that policy. Just get it out and bring in a new policy. Trump, bring in your policy. I know you can fix this shit. Like, the Democrats, they don't like it because they didn't come up with it. That's why, because they're a bunch of Karens. That's all they are, the Democrats. Like, they go into the super Karen mode, and if they didn't come up with it, they're not going to support it. Train of truth never lies. All right, let's go ahead and keep it moving. All right, what do we got here?
President Trump ordering a DOJ investigation into foreign meat packers, accusing them of inflating U.S. beef prices. He says on Truth Social, quote, "We will always protect our American ranchers, and they are being blamed for what's being done by majority foreign-owned meat packers who artificially inflate prices and jeopardize the security of our nation's food supply." Joining me with his reaction is a fifth-generation rancher, Steve Lucy. Steve, thank you for joining us this morning. How big is your ranch?
It's big enough. I mean, I don't like to tell a lot of personal information, but I raise a lot of cattle. Not as many cattle as some of the big giant ranches out west,
Right.
but for Illinois, we raise quite a few cattle.
So would you say you're a mid-size?
Yeah, I would say I'm a mid-size cattle farmer right now. And there's a lot of us out through the country scattered out still, but we've lost many of us. And that's that's part of the reason why we're seeing, a supply problem in the beef side.
Yeah, and consumers are seeing a real rise in beef prices. And the president is suggesting in this Truth Social post that it's because of these four companies that are the meat packers, and that they are setting the prices and increasing costs for the ranchers and for the consumers. Can you explain how these four meat packers are impacting your business?
Well, for instance, they set the price when I have me or a feedlot or another independent feedlot wants to go sell a fat beef. We have to take the price that is getting bid from, say, JBS. So essentially, there's no competition amongst the market. They're completely consolidated, owning like 85% of the beef industry, and we don't have a choice other than to take what the market price is. if we keep that beef and keep growing it, first of all, it becomes too fat, and it's not good for the animal. It's not good for the consumer. So they know that when we have beef ready to sell, we have to move those beef, and
so they take advantage of that. Yes.
Yeah, they can set the price on a whim. They can decide if they want to, cut less meat that day or for a week, and then therefore they can manipulate that market pretty easily. Now, if you were to buy a beef from me directly off my farm and I take it to a local processor, I would sell it. I tell this story a lot. I sold a beef this summer and I took market price for the beef. The customer pays the processor at a USDA inspected facility, and we could get into that as well, but they pay the processor, and by the end of the day, they got the whole beef back. I think the total cost was like $6.25 a pound for the beef. So that's steak, roast, ground beef, and everything. When you're paying over $20 a pound,
expensive in Walmart.
Store.
I went to Walmart today. I saw
over the target on this. In other words, is the answer to break up
1 pound was like over $7
locally, and is that a
of
problem
ground
that
beef.
USDA that Agriculture Secretary
Crazy.
Brooke Rollins can resolve by making it less regulations?
It's
so
like
that there
double
are
the
more local meat
price
processors?
of
Is
the
that
beef
is
prices.
that the solution?
So I'm glad you said that. That is one of the big solutions to this problem.
You know
And
what
I
it
don't want
is,
people
right?
to think this is going to happen overnight. This is going to take a lot
I know
of
the
time.
reason why.
We don't have the infrastructure to have that many local processors out through the countryside right now. I mean, I have to drive 45 minutes to a local processor, and there's only one close to my area. So you take a lot of places in the country, there's not a local processor that can handle this. And the reason for that is because of regulations.
Yeah.
If you have to have so many regulations that it's not cost effective for small business to start something like that. So that's one of the problems we have. And the other main problem we have in this country is the supply. Actually, we've lost a lot of ranchers, and some of us are getting older, and we just, after a while, you give it up, and a lot of times there's not another person to come around. I'm the 5th generation. I'm probably going to have a son that's going to be the 6th generation if we can stay profitable and stay in the business. So we have to have a fair price for our beef, and you have to have a fair price of what you're buying. And there's so much middle cost involved. I think it's fair to look at that and look at these 4 big packers and see what is going on there, at least to find out.
Absolutely. Americans want more meat, right? We're realizing more and more the benefits nutritionally of meat.
Yes.
And we want more. We want to get our meat from small and mid-sized ranchers like you. And I personally prefer to have my meat processed at a local place where I can see what they do better than these big giant meat processing plants where I feel like it's not as safe and or humane. So all of those things come into play. Steve, thank you for joining us. Thanks for giving us this insight, and thanks for what you do. You make America better. This is sort of the backbone of who we are, and so thanks for doing what you do. And I hope you go into that 6th generation.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you all having me, and I just want to give a shout out to all of our veterans this weekend. Without them, I don't exist as an operation, and none of us can live the way we live. And I mean, beef is a big part of the freedom in this country. And I always say, where there is beef, there is freedom. And that's what I believe.
I agree. And by the way, more beef for our military troops. Let's change what they're eating also. Give them more meat. Thanks so much for joining us, Steve. Appreciate it.
Yeah, more beef for the troops. And not only that, but like, I remember back in the 80s, like the beef prices, right? We're all older here. Like the group of people that watch are like older. So let's go back. Let's astral project back to our childhood days. If you can think back. I can. And I remember like a lot of these prices, like on beef and stuff, was like $1 something for like a pound. Let's say my mom used to buy like 2 pounds of ground beef. And that would last like how much? It was like $2. Like it was like sometimes it was like $1.75 for like 2 pounds. I remember the oxtails. I remember oxtails were really cheap. My mom used to come home like with a big thing of oxtails, and she only paid like less than $2, around $2, like for oxtail, and they had a lot of meat on the tails. And my mom used to make it like this oxtail stew, and it was so good with white rice. She used to make it with like white rice, and she used to do the oxtails, and man, it was so good and so delicious. It was one of my favorite dishes, to be honest with you. And but now you go buy, you go look at the prices of the oxtails. You're like, what the fuck? 19, 18, $19, 20 something dollars for oxtails. Ridiculous. When I go next time, when I go food shopping, I'm gonna do like maybe record and take pictures of the prices so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And just hit up a couple of different places and just do like maybe a little documents, like a little documentary on the food prices and why is it so expensive. I know. Want me to answer that question? Okay, what I feel and what is the energy is telling me to say is the illegal immigrants that are here. They're eating our resources. They're eating our foods. So guess what? They're eating our cows. And there's not many cows to go around feeding all these illegals that are here. We have millions upon millions of illegals in this country. So those illegals need to eat. And what do you think they're going to eat? Our resources. Our resources is only meant for the American people that live here, that put into the system, and that's what feeds us, the American people. You know, not all these illegal immigrants that came through the border, and now we got to feed them too. And now we're suffering with the prices because there's not enough to feed everybody. So we have to jack up the prices so not many people could buy it, and the ones that do, they're fortunate to get it. They're able to get it to feed their family. But a lot of people can't afford that, and they're not going to buy those like over ridiculous price for fucking beef. Like it's disturbing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start it tomorrow. I'm going to go to Walmart in the morning. I'm going to Walmart in the morning, and I'm going to take a little video and show you the prices. I'm going to show you the prices, and you're going to be like, oh shit, what the fuck? Yeah, I know. It is what it is, but I truly believe this is a really big immigration problem we have in this country, and I think that's what's eating our resources, and we're suffering because of it, because they're dragging their feet removing these individuals from our country. We need to hire like easily over 200,000 officers for ICE. We need to get this like Operation Clean Sweep like going right now. We need to clean sweep the country, vet everyone, and the ones that are illegal, get them out of the country. You know, and just got to do it. You know, there's gonna be casualties. There's gonna be people dying. There's people gonna like. It's gonna be like a little war. You know, but they gotta go. And once you get them out of here, I guarantee you, 1,000%. Even after I'm dead and I'm gone, and you guys are crying and weeping, and I'm like, it's okay to cry, but dry your eyes and go back and watch my shows. You see like the change, you know, and the prices it's just has gone ridiculously high. And it all coincides with the illegals coming into our country, and everything's more expensive. Rent is more expensive. Light is more expensive. We have problems here with the light because we're using up so much like electricity that they're jacking up the prices, and we're paying more because there's less like to give out because everyone's taking too much because there's too many people here. Like Trump, hit me up. Trump, I know you will never will watch this. You'll never hear me. I'm not important, but I am very good at what I know. And what I know is you're doing a good job. Don't let these motherfuckers interrupt you and get in your way. Just stop dragging your feet and let's get this shit going. Let's hire all these ICE officers and let's start sweeping the country and getting all these illegals out. And I guarantee you, the housing prices will go down, the food prices will go down, the steak prices will go down, everything will go down because they will have enough to feed us, the American people, as it was how it was before the invasion. When the invasion came, the prices went woof right up out of the fucking roof. And we need to throttle that down. And the only way you throttle that down is getting the illegals out, because once you get those illegals out, guess what? They're not eating here. They're not eating their 3-4 meals a day here. Like, no, that's one mouth gone. That's one other mouth is going to be able to eat. And it'll be an American individual. Why is that so hard? They could go to their country and they could go eat over there and eat up their resources over there in their country. Don't come to other people's countries and then expect us to house you, clothe you, pay for you, take care of you, maintain you, like feed you. Like, you're eating up all our resources. You're fucking up our waste management, because remember, your shit needs to be processed, and guess what? That's getting processed with all the American shit too. So when you have foreign shit and American shit, that's too much shit, and these facilities are not meant to process too much shit. So what happens? Things break down, then it costs more money to repair, and it's just not good shit right now. Like, we need to get these shitheads out, because the only shit that should be here is the American shit. Hey, Chloe, what's up? Just getting into this debate, like, by myself. Like, yeah, there's less there. We don't have that many cows and this and that. Well, because there's so many immigrants that are in this country that are eating steak every fucking night. And that's more cows. They're eating their American cows. And so that we're not having that many cows because there's so many people here eating. You get those motherfuckers out, you get all those illegals out, I guarantee you, the prices on beef will come down drastically. But we have to eliminate all the illegals. We have to get them all out. We have to send them back to their homes, and they got to go. Stop procrastinating. Stop this little, these people standing outside ICE and wanting to fight and cause a ruckus like this right here. Like, what the fuck is this? Okay, here we go. Portland, Oregon, outside the ICE facility. Is it play? Let's see. If I know there's music, so I don't want to listen. Okay, no music. Good. What the fuck is this?
I would say that there's probably less, in terms of less leading views that are able to have those kinds of conversations. But I definitely know that it's on the right too. Yeah, it goes both ways heavily. Yeah.
What is he wearing? What it's wearing? I don't know.
When it's leftists that don't want to have a
The guy.
and they're at war, they're on that war on ideas. It doesn't solve anything. They might feel right.
I can't fix that. It's not loud for them, guys.
You know what I mean? So I'm fine. I think we're. Well,
The gain is way up all the way around.
Yeah. Talk to me anytime you want to. Do you have next? I do. I didn't realize that I made it. But it's Pocket Sand. I'm Pocket Sandy. But Pocket Sand. I do OG.
I don't have X. I don't need it.
Is Pocket Sandy.
I mean, it would bring in more people to the show, but I don't trust.
How's that better?
Too many of these companies having my information.
Kind of now, so like I will have some fun on there. Yeah. I will have a lot of fun on there. No, you're 100%. I get that. I don't know.
What is this guy wearing?
I don't think so.
I've seen you here. Yeah.
Dog uniform?
Good. Are you from? You're from out of town, right?
I live in Seattle.
Seattle.
What the hell's wrong with his hair? Look at the one in the back. Whoa, that was a throw. Holy smokes.
What do you feel about what I said? You think like?
Honestly, I couldn't hear you.
Oh.
On account of the dog mask.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I can maybe post this. And you can see
what?
I can maybe post this later.
I just can't really hear you.
We're gonna head back down there.
Okay. You're going down to the corner?
I can't hear you. We're going down to that corner. Yeah, that mask. You can't hear shit.
I can't. I just can't hear that dog. Is
Yeah,
my
he
audio
sounds
too loud,
muffled.
guys?
Oh, Lord. Not the music shit again. I don't want to hear that music shit.
You know the heart of a foreigner. So you were foreigners in the land of Egypt.
What's up?
So this is what we look. This is America. Like, why are these people wasting their lives?
So dumb.
How is this productive?
Oh man, it got kind of cold fast.
It got cold fast. I wonder why.
I saw him earlier, but he had
I can go a little live on this one.
He was on the corner.
Let's skip it up forward.
No, this is Cam's.
So,
I didn't steal shit. He just trusts me. He trusts me with you guys. He trusts me with you guys.
I don't know what the fuck is going on over there. It's a shit show. I'm sorry. I can't watch anymore. Only in America. Only in America. Let's see what this is about here. Liberal hive mind. I didn't put up the volume.
The channel's solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's your meme of the day, brought to you by 5mind.com. Well, yet again, another miscalculation from the Democrats. Little Chucky Schumer boy here thought that he could hold the country hostage with a one-year Obamacare subsidy ransom. We won these off-season elections in Democrat strongholds. Therefore, now Republicans have to accept our extremely partisan demand of making healthcare an issue for 2026. You better do our bidding or else is basically the thought process. But thankfully, Republicans aren't that stupid, and they basically told Chuck Schumer to go F himself real quick to pound frickin' sand. And while little Chucky boy here thinks that he's an absolute political genius, that he's running laps against the Republicans, I think the reality is he's once again put himself in a position to be totally and utterly exposed. You know, it started off with that $1.5 trillion ask. Democrats instantly got exposed for essentially fighting to fund healthcare for illegal migrants. Then came the SNAP benefits ransom, which led to, all the SNAP fraud and ridiculous culture of entitlement being exposed. And now, of course, with the line being drawn in the sand on these Obamacare subsidies, it creates yet again another spotlight on Democrat policy rot. Of course, that is Obamacare. Now, all of a sudden, the attention is on this failing program the Democrats claim is so sacred, it's so necessary, yeah, it's so freaking sacred that you need to keep kicking the can down the road and subsidizing it. And so now it seems that people are scratching their head, asking themselves the question, I maybe might have just blindly fell for the Democrat propaganda play, like, oh, yes, we must save healthcare. But the more this goes on, the more people are realizing, wait, is this thing even worth saving? And that gives President Trump the opportunity to now come in with a very interesting counter proposal. He just put Chuck Schumer's back to the freaking wall. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, so obviously the Democrat talking point has been a Republican healthcare crisis, but this talking point has never made sense. In fact, from the start, it's been fundamentally backwards. It's a Republican healthcare crisis, yet you need Republicans to vote in favor of continuously subsidizing and saving this program. No, it's a Democrat healthcare crisis. It's an Obamacare healthcare crisis. And this has now created a perfect environment with everybody paying attention for President Trump to come in and issue this perfect statement right over here. And actually, I kind of did the meme there, didn't I? This perfect statement by President Trump. Oh, it's the most perfect statement ever uttered by any president. But in a way, in terms of meeting the moment, it is actually perfect. He writes, I am recommending to Senate Republicans that hundreds of billions of dollars currently being sent to money-sucking insurance companies in order to save the bad health care provided by Obamacare be sent directly to the people so that they can purchase their own much better health care and have money left over. In other words, take from the big bad insurance companies, give it to the people, and terminate per dollar spent the worst health care anywhere in the world, Obamacare. Unrelated, we must still terminate the filibuster. It's genius. And that really is the move. And it really flips the whole conversation on the people because they keep claiming that they're for the people, but really they are for the big insurance companies. And that's another thing that President Trump highlights. Look at the healthcare stocks since Obamacare was passed. Look at United Healthcare. Look at that parabolic growth right in the 2010 era. Who's benefiting from the Affordable Care Act?
Nope.
It certainly isn't the people getting the worst healthcare
People
imaginable.
being taxed.
It's the health
That's crazy.
insurance companies who are robbing the American people blind. They're not delivering a premium service for the insurance gets involved. And especially if we're looking at government subsidies, the cost of everything multiplies instantly. It's free freaking money. What President Trump is suggesting here is simply so much better. Put the money in the hands of the people, not the insurance companies. And that really, in my view, creates a very interesting debate dynamic on policy moving into the 2026 midterms. Republicans are standing for health care for the people. Meanwhile, Democrats are standing up for big insurance. Put the money in the insurers' hands. And already it seems like this Trump proposal is starting to pick up some steam here. We got multiple senators jumping on board. Senator Rick Scott is saying that he's, quote, writing the bill right now. We must stop taxpayer money from going to insurance companies and instead give it directly to Americans in HSA-style accounts and let them buy healthcare that is suited to them. This will increase competition and drive down costs, and that is exactly correct. Create a sort of healthcare voucher, an account where you get money from the government every month, but you can only spend that money on health insurance. You can take the dollars that are currently being spent to subsidize this Obamacare clown show and go around and shop. Find the best insurance that suits you. And all of a sudden, you're going to have the insurance companies not going to lobby government and send millions of dollars to Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren as they pretend to fight for the little guy. No, these insurance companies are going to have to be fighting to acquire the customer. In other words, competition. They're going to have to present the best deal for the customer, which is going to put all the leverage in the customer's hand. That right there, folks, is how you drive cost down. Democrats have caused premiums to skyrocket. And now they want to continue subsidizing this unaffordable health care. They don't want to fix the issue. Now, in comes President Trump with an actual solution that would fix the problem. And this is where Democrats, I think, have really played themselves because they've crafted this whole emotional narrative, right? But they've also unintentionally exposed themselves. I think it's time to stop pretending as if the Affordable Health Care Act fixed healthcare. It did not. It created a healthcare cartel. The mandates are locked in. The markets are already captured. And now the conversation is flipped. Chuck Schumer's little one-year corporate subsidy ransom play versus the Trump-Scott direct to the consumer, direct to the people HSA account. Think about it. Which side is actually acting on behalf of the people? Which side is pro-consumer? And which side looks corrupt and bought out? You know, I know Democrats have mobilized their army of radical, fanatical Blue Anon cult members, and it's really an unfortunate thing. But if you look at the entire timeline of events here, it is clear that Republicans have been absolutely owning Democrats on every single issue that is brought up throughout this entire shutdown. Just imagine if the media actually did its work. Imagine if the mainstream media was platforming this conversation and these pro-consumer talking points instead of carrying water for the Democrats and, of course, carrying water for the insurance companies and pharma companies that pay their freaking bills. That's the Democrat Party. That's the mainstream media in a nutshell, pretending as if they're looking out for the little guy. Oh, those horrible billionaires. When in reality, they're working on behalf of these giant corporate lobbyists and giant medical oligarchs. You know, again, it might be a difficult battle. The odds are stacked against the president, the Republican Party. The entire system is working overtime to ensure Chuck Schumer's victory. And that might make it daunting to stand up and do the right thing, especially when it appears that Democrats have, in fact, been successfully able to mobilize and galvanize their base. But whoever said being courageous and doing the right thing was easy? No one. It's freaking difficult. And so it may not be the right, politics strategy, but it's the right thing to do. The wrong thing would be to give in to the Democrat ransom demands. The wrong thing would be to hand Democrats on a silver platter the talking point that they need for the next midterm election. The right thing to do is to fight, to stand up for what's right, to make coherent, strong free market arguments, to advocate on behalf of the consumer, American citizens, at the detriment of these corrupt insurance companies and corporate lobbyists. Put the money in the hands of the people, not these scamming insurance companies. Create a system that gives all the leverage to the consumer. These corporations should be lobbying the consumer. They should be fighting to attain customers by being aggressive in their pricing, by providing the best service for the best cost, not having all their wishes being handed next level profits by bought and paid for politicians who essentially do their bidding while the taxpayers foot the frickin' bill. Come on, do the right thing, even when it's difficult. That's the side that I stand on. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, Liberal Hive Mind. That was a pretty good upload. Is he lying? He ain't lying. He ain't lying. That's for sure. I mean, what could we possibly do? Just a lot of people, especially the Democrats, are very one-sided. They only care about them and their constituents, right? But I wonder if their constituents are really happy in what they're doing. I don't know, because what they're doing is very despicable and very sad, because we're living just weird times. I'm telling you, I died, I came back. I'm just witnessing a lot of shit if I wasn't here. So it's like, it just gets wilder every day. It's like every day it just progressively gets wilder. Instead of getting better, no, it just gets a little wilder. And then you get a lot of weirdness. And the fact they kept the government shut down for that long, and they're having the record, and now what? That's why I don't understand. I don't understand. That snow is coming down. Let me see if I have the here. Give me a second. This is another. Let me see if I can open him up here. This is, I believe, in Indiana. Indiana, you guys are getting a good amount of snow tonight. I am jealous. I am jealous. I'm jealous because there's a lot of snow, and I like snow. I really do. Let's see what's going on over here. What's happening? I hate when they put the chat, and I gotta take it down. And they don't give you an option for this to stop doing this, because I don't want it to pop up. Look at that snow on the ground. It's about half an inch on the ground, but that could be slick. So you gotta be careful driving in that type of conditions. Make sure you have good tires. Make sure you're alert, no distractions. Got cross traffic. That's too close to comfort for me, especially in these conditions. If you're out there in Indiana, be very careful. Don't brake hard. Don't forget your driving skills. Your winter driving skills. I know, like,
ooh, this curve is slick.
You see, very slick. The curve. So you need to be careful, because he can slide right off.
Very slick curve.
So for those in Indiana, those in I would say Ohio.
I think that plow should put his plow back on.
Yeah. Yeah, these roads are getting packed down now, aren't they?
Yeah, very slick. Not good. See what that snow is. We'll get more rain tonight.
Yeah, we got a drop a degree too, so stuff's gonna start freezing.
What is this guy doing? What is he doing?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if that was a me problem or a him problem. Each ball has their lane, so yeah, he's just driving on the wrong side of the road.
All right. For those like in that area, like South Bend, that's why they're there. That's in Indiana because they're getting strong.
Did y'all see that, chat?
No.
That dude literally just came like right at me and Corey, just driving down the wrong side of the road.
Wow. That's crazy. Driving on the wrong side of the road. Indiana, Michigan, we got Ohio, portions of Ohio, not all of Ohio, more like central and northern Ohio. And all this is going to be pushing across, so portions of western Pennsylvania and western portions of New York. Going to get a lot of snow. Illinois, looks like a couple of portions of Illinois, Iowa, also central as far as snow is concerned. This
Dealing with some ridiculous data issues right now.
This is supposed to pass us on Monday, and it's supposed to get like really cold temperatures.
Yeah, mine's struggling a little bit too.
Okay, I was wondering if it was just me.
Our temperatures are going to drop into the mid-20s on Tuesday morning. Maybe the wind chill would bring it down to like the lower 20s, but we're getting our first really good hit of cold weather Tuesday morning here in Connecticut and the Northeast. Not only here in Connecticut, it's Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. We got a good system coming across, bring really bitter cold temperatures. On,
I don't even know if you guys can hear that
Tuesday
because
morning.
my stream keeps struggling, but yeah, what did you have trouble with, Paula? I can only glance at the chat every once in a while here.
With the chances of maybe
These data
getting
issues out in the middle of nowhere here, not helping either. Yeah, we are closing in on New Carlisle here. My goodness, this road is messed up.
Yeah.
Looks like the data issues, I don't want to speak too soon, but looks like they've corrected themselves. Music City, thank you so much for the super chat. Everybody drop a massive W in the comments. Music City, thank you so much.
Man, that is too close to each other.
We just went over 50,000 views on the live stream.
That's wild. So just be careful out there and driving, because that's,
and you know
that's
what?
a little crazy. Let's bring it back to me, and let me set up for the next. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Damn. Let me set this up. Which one is that one? Okay, here we go.
New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, first, how are you feeling about this report that there could be a test vote tonight? And if it passes, it could lead to a
Let me go get me a snack. I'll be right back.
Well, of course, that's good. And certainly I'm supportive of that. But I am disgusted with all of it. I'm tired of it. I mean, to be honest with you, there are no winners here. Republicans didn't win. Democrats didn't win. And certainly the American people didn't win. There are losers. I think everybody loses. You know, I talk to a lot of people. And I imagine hopefully most of our members of Congress do. And people on the street, everyday working people, good Republicans, are sick and tired of it. Now, you know, there's fault to go around here. The Democrats, they should have voted for that small little CR. It was a continuation of Biden's budget for 7 weeks. Nothing to see there. No big deal. They've done it many times before. Schumer was too worried about his own butt, whether he was going to survive or not politically. So he didn't do it, and he overreacted. Republicans, on the other hand, guess what? I hate Obamacare too. I don't like it. I don't like the subsidies. It's way too expensive. We're enriching insurance companies, but we don't have a completed plan yet. So if we have to continue it for 1 year more, in order to come up with a real good, cohesive, better plan, in order to keep government open, in order to do the right thing for our people, then we need to do it. If you've got a plan and we're ready to go, then let's do it. And finally, if we can't get things done in the Senate, I agree with the president. I've been saying for weeks and weeks now, maybe more than weeks, probably months, end the filibuster. The Democrats are not going to abide by it. For God's sake, they won't even abide voting for a simple little continuation of Biden's budget. Do you really think they're going to require 60 votes if and when they're ever in control and want to get something done? They're not. Let's put on our thinking caps. Let's be intellectually honest, and let's do what our job is to take care of the American people. And finally, no member of Congress, no member should get paid anything until any shutdown is over. And in fact, if there are shutdowns, not only should Congress not get paid, they never should be reimbursed that money. Because guess what? It's Congress's fault. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And American people are tired of it.
Yeah, I think a lot of American people would echo your sentiments about that paycheck. We learned from Chad Pergram in the last hour that, unfortunately, maybe that is not constitutional to withhold pay from you and other members of Congress. A former Speaker of the House is sitting on the sidelines, kind of, well, laughing is probably not the right word, but let Kevin McCarthy explain how he feels about this shutdown. Listen.
I call it the Seinfeld shutdown because it's really about nothing. It's their weakness of political willpower to do the right thing just to keep the government open because it can't have change. They're coming after their Tuesday elections where they did well. I don't understand why they're keeping it this way, except they think that others will fold and do whatever they want.
Because that's what these shutdowns always boil down to. It's the party that is not in power that is trying to exercise the levers of power that they don't have because they don't have, in this case, the Senate, the House, the White House.
Look, maybe Republicans shouldn't get blamed, but they are too. Believe me, it's at least 50-50. Most people, regular people working that have to pay all the damn bills, they are sick of it and they believe pox on both houses. And that's the truth. I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican. I'm glad to be one. But we've got to also get things done, and the government needs to be open. And as far as members of Congress and their pay, you can voluntarily give it up, which I did. I know there are a few other members that have as well. We need to change the Constitution on that. Believe me, we won't have any more shutdowns if members of Congress don't get paid and if they don't get reimbursed for the time you're shut down. Then we'll always have the government open and be able to get more work done.
Yeah, it would be nice to see. Let's hope there are some others who agree with you. New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News.
Soaring prices and stubbornly high mortgage rates are forcing younger cash-strapped Americans to delay buying a home. A new report shows the median age for first-time home buyers is now 40 years old compared to 33 just a few years ago. Okay, Jackie, what do you think about that?
American dream is getting harder and harder to come by. That is a real feeling in America right now, and it's been progressing as time has gone on. I think part of it is competition. I think part of it is technology. I don't blame it as much on financial conditions or where the specific interest rate is. Why I go back to technology is because I think about some of these young people who are saying they don't have a down payment to be able to buy a home, that they're either not making enough or that the interest rate is keeping them out of the housing market. And I personally tend to think it's their spending that's keeping them out of the market. As we have grown up, as we are watching this consumption society on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, people want experiences and they spend more on things to keep up with their neighbors. And therefore, some of the old-fashioned kind of fundamental saving habits have gone out the window. I look at it from that angle more than the economic conditions. Taylor, you brought up the mortgage rates in the teens in the 80s when our parents were buying homes. Dagan, you also mentioned home prices were a lot less then. I think it all kind of does even out. And, you know, anything is like a balance sheet. It's a snapshot, a moment in time. And this is the particular moment in time. But it's the lack of the sort of financial wherewithal, the down payment, the ability to be, you know, nimble in these conditions to be able to do something. That's how I see it.
And we just talked about these quote unquote affordable bags that you brought up. And, you know, they're not $20,000, but if you're a Gen Z and you're spending $500 on a bag, like I don't think my folks were doing that when they went to buy their first home. They're probably walking around with a paper bag from the grocery store. So maybe Jackie's right there, but it's a different world too, in that you've got institutional buyers and you've got a whole different space for who's competing for these homes, Taylor.
Yeah. So on the one hand, I think I mentioned I went to a coffee shop the other day and it was like $7 for a tall little coffee. So I hear you on it's the little things that eventually add up. But I do come with potentially good news. We've talked a lot about how we're very concerned about rent freezes from Mamdani, who was elected 2 days ago. But there are also some, at least this is very New York City. I know this isn't national, Brian, but there were a few referendums on that ballot and some proposals that went through. The Wall Street Journal saying that 3 of these actually should ease the regulatory burden to help build new big developments in New York City. One measure says it makes it now harder for one single city council member to block a new housing project.
Is this the yes thing that they were talking about in the debate?
Yes. And Mamdani finally, I think, came out and said that he voted yes, but originally he wouldn't say what he voted for. And then 2 other proposals will speed up the approval process for affordable housing and modest projects. Now, we can debate
for that the other day.
if those are
sure. Why
so
not?
I don't want one single housing member to be able to derail a big developer project. Many developers had complained that had put them on the sidelines.
And more supply.
Now, that's a New York City thing, not a national thing. But yes, if we remove some of the regulatory burdens, that helps the supply side of the equation.
Absolutely. I mean, so we need more supply. If prices are high, you need more supply. And ironically, government in recent years did a lot to restrict that supply. I remember all those ultra low interest rates during the pandemic. You still have got a lot of Americans sitting with 3% mortgages. That's a disincentive for them to sell, a disincentive for them to get out of their homes. And one of the reasons why homes remain so
and the irony is that
people.
it was the Biden administration and many of these Democrats that are so pro regulation, which ends up hurting the market. And then you've got somebody like Zohran Mamdani who comes in and says, well, we need to rent freeze and we need to do this and that to be able to fix it. The fix is actually pretty easy.
Go where you want, Dagan, but can I just throw something out there? I debate with people sometimes about, or people debate me and say, why are you so concerned about home ownership? The younger generation doesn't want to own homes. Why should they have to own homes? Does it matter for America and the culture of America whether or not we have a society of homeowners?
It does. This is one of the reasons. I believe that it fosters family, commitment to community, even church, a stability in a society. But when you have, and there's top sources for down payment, now more than one, like 22%, so more than 1/5 comes from gifts or loans from family and friends. So when you can own, when a normal working couple with a normal job, whatever normal is, but regular folks can't afford to buy a home unless you come from a well-off family,
Yep.
or a family with a lot of cash sitting around, then you perpetuate this inequality issue. It's like the inequality of education that we used to experience as a society, where you could only go to an Ivy League school if you came from a family with a lot of money. So it creates the haves and the have-mores and the have-nots and the have-nothings when it comes to home ownership. However, this is the good news. So right now, and I know a lot of people who have bought houses because their families have given them money for the down payment.
I do too.
So if you just bought some overpriced box at a BS price at multiples of what it's worth, simply because your mommy and daddy gave you some money to put the down payment, you just made a bad investment, and you just wedged yourself into a financially disadvantaged situation. And if those home prices start coming down, you're going to be trapped in it. You'll be underwater and unable to move. It's like if mommy and daddy gave you the money to buy a yacht.
So
it's still a stupid boat.
So to pick up on that, I am a great case study of that. Let's say I got a savings and I'm able to buy an apartment. I had to sell that apartment for a loss, but if I'd put that down payment in the stock market, I'd be higher. So I agree with you. I think home ownership fosters the formation of family, community, a sense of pride of ownership, wanting to take care of something. But it isn't always the best financial investment. Now, I have to remember, a home may not always be a financial investment. It may be a home investment, a community investment, a family investment. But if I'm looking at the pure numbers, Jack and I have talked about this. That down payment would serve you better maybe in the stock market. Now, the goals are very different, but the argument may not always be a financial one.
It might, but you'd have to invest it properly. You'd have to still save it and not squander it in other ways, not necessarily sure.
Yeah, but then that's where you get an advisor.
I just wanted to make that. I just wanted to make
Financial advisor.
People should not feel bad, and I don't want people.
The banks provide them for free.
You don't have the advantage of having family to give you money. It might work out to your advantage.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes real estate is a terrible investment. I think of, for example, Japan. Real estate prices were underwater for about 30 years, from the late 1980s all the way through the early part of this century. So, real estate, I know in New York and a lot of big metropolitan areas, it seems to go up year after year after year, but that's not always the case. And Taylor, to your point, historically, real estate is extraordinarily expensive right here today.
I think there's something good for the soul about having to mow your own lawn. And it smells really good in the springtime.
It's not the mowing the lawn, it's fixing the boiler. You know how to do that? It's a pain in the butt.
I know more about it now than I used to.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Got to clean that thing every 2 years.
All right, just keep it moving.
UC Berkeley is bracing for a major Turning Point USA event tomorrow, 2 months to the day after the assassination of founder Charlie Kirk. And take a look at this. Flyers on campus are urging protests reading, quote, "Fascists, Zionists out." Organizers are not backing down.
We've definitely faced a lot of pushback. We have, posters going around campus calling us fascists and Zionists. After the assassination of Charlie Kirk, it did become a lot more sinister when you think about it, because it's almost as though these are the same types of people who want you dead.
Yep.
Fox News contributor and Wall Street Journal assistant editorial page editor James Freeman joins me now. James, great to have you with us. In many ways, Turning Point heading into, politically speaking, the lion's den here in terms of colleges. But I guess they would argue as well, Turning Point, that is exactly where you need to take this message.
Yeah, and it is dangerous because even before the horrific assassination, sadly, the violence on the political left directed against this group has been rather consistent. fortunately, generally not as awful as we saw with the Kirk assassination, but low-level violence is kind of been a constant from the left as this organization has tried to bring a different kind of message to campuses really all around the country.
Yeah, my daughter is actually a freshman at UC Berkeley right now. She tells me that there doesn't seem to be a great groundswell of protest, but as you rightly point out, it only takes one or two to really try to disrupt an event like that and cause the kind of scene that those protesters want. So you don't need hundreds outside whatever hall they're doing it in at UC Berkeley. It can be a few people finding their way inside.
Yeah, this is really a moment of really a moment for people who run colleges and universities to finally stand up for the values of free speech and open inquiry that universities are supposed to be about. It is absolutely essential that we do not have a sort of assassin's veto where the killing of Kirk mutes discussions on campus. I give enormous credit to Erica Kirk and to the people at that organization that they are continuing to bring those open discussions to college campuses. I think really the vibrant free society that we enjoy kind of depends on it, depends on their success and the success of others to make sure that we are allowed to express different viewpoints and to debate. And I would hope that there would be, I'm sure like a lot of people, like a lot of your viewers, hoping that there are even more of these discussions on campuses than before Kirk was murdered.
James, I want to get to the Mamdani effect in New York. There is concern there. We should point out that Mamdani, in his victory speech on Tuesday, said he wanted to tackle what he called the scourge of anti-Semitism. Nonetheless, there are still those who are very concerned about some of his previous statements and what that might mean for his mayorship. Among them, Jonathan Greenblatt of the Anti-Defamation League.
You are a Jewish voter, we have your back. We launched the Mamdani Monitor this morning. We are simply going to track, again, not what he says in a single speech, but what he does. What I want to make sure is he doesn't create an environment where Jewish people are unsafe. He doesn't create an environment where globalized intifada becomes a mantra.
Is that, James, a justified concern, do you believe?
Very much so. And it's not just the Mamdani history of anti-Israel rhetoric. You pair that with his approach toward public safety, which I think is got to be of great concern. We've talked on this network about his economic plans and how, despite his great desires to raise taxes, he may have some trouble at times getting that through Albany, maybe not. But policing is an issue where, unfortunately, he has a great ability to do harm all on his own without the state government cooperating. And as you know, in our city, the mayor, Mayor Adams, that he's replacing, was basically at odds at times with the city council, where the city council wanted to go further in undermining, questioning, harassing police from doing their job. So I think Mamdani is going to find sadly, a very welcoming city council as he comes to them with proposals to make the ability of police to do their jobs.
Yeah, we shall see. It'll be an interesting mayorship to watch for sure. James Freeman, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, everyone.
Emily Campagno. Okay, we got to go on to the news. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find it here. Just had it up. Okay, let's bring it to me first. And we're going to go live and see what the hell's going on with the vote tonight. It's just got to find where the hell the video, and everything's so slow tonight. Come on, YouTube. Here it is. All right. We're going to listen into the Senate meeting ahead of a possible test vote to end the shutdown. We're going to check it out. Give me a second to set it up. All right. Here we go.
Continues, I want to particularly focus on the impact of this lapse funding is having on the aviation industry. TSA agents and air traffic controllers have had to continue working while missing 2 paychecks. It's a stressful job and one that has grown increasingly more difficult throughout the year. Combine that with uncertainty on how to pay rent, put food on the table, and gas in your car. It is no surprise that we're seeing more and more controllers not show up to work. We are already facing a shortage of controllers, and now we are seeing more having to pick up second jobs to pay the bills.
That's crazy.
We're seeing some quit entirely.
Damn, that's even wilder.
And our inability to gain consensus are deterring young people interested in futures such as air traffic controllers or other aviation professionals from pursuing those careers. The vulnerabilities in our aviation system has led Secretary Sean Duffy to begin reducing flights by 10% at 40 major airports. Airlines, businesses, and general aviation alike are cutting into their operations to make certain that airspace is as safe as possible. It is critical to know that these impacts are not lopsided on those high traffic areas. Small and medium hub airports, such as we have in Kansas, that connect to those 40 are experiencing this pain just as much. While this is a painful step, it is necessary for the safety of the traveling public, and I support Secretary Duffy's decisions. American Airlines indicated to me they've canceled more than 240 flights yesterday and delayed more than 1,000 flights, impacting more than 150,000 passengers. Airlines for America said that staffing shortages disrupted the flights of more than 4 million passengers from October 1 to November the 7th on their partner airlines. And that was before the mandatory reductions were put in place by the Department of Transportation. We can expect more cuts if we do not reopen the government. We saw how fragile our air system is, and it's the reason I highlight aviation and the consequences of the shutdown tonight. We saw how fragile our air system is earlier this year when a series of failures led to a mid-air collision on January the 29th, which claimed the lives of 67, including those of Kansas. That accident forced Congress and our nation to reckon with an issue that has plagued us for decades. Why have we not effectively modernized our airspace system?
Right.
Since that crash, steps have been taken to train more controllers and improve the aviation system, including a $12.5 billion investment in modernizing our airspace. But those efforts are becoming much more difficult to accomplish during a shutdown. Unfortunately, the position of the aviation industry it finds itself in today cannot be easily solved, but we cannot even begin to solve it unless we reopen the government. Every day we remain shut down, the fragility of this system intensifies. Thanksgiving is only 18 days away. Americans are purchasing or would have purchased or already purchased tickets to be with their families. If we remain in a shutdown much longer, it will become increasingly difficult for airlines to deliver on their promises to their customers. The circumstances we are in cannot continue. We must reopen the government. I urge my colleagues to pass a clean continuing resolution to reopen government. I'm committed to working with my colleagues to address the concerns they have and any issues brought forth by the shutdown. We must return to regular order, advance a clean CR and these 3 appropriation bills, and then consider further appropriations and these issues so that many of us care so deeply about. Our constituents and our nation depend upon us to do so. Mr. President, I note the absence of a quorum.
Ms. Alsobrooks.
I guess what they're gonna do here. I think I can fast forward it a little bit because I think I'm behind a few. Yeah, I am. Well, that's a good thing. So we can fast forward a little bit.
Majority Leader,
President, I ask unanimous consent the quorum call be suspended.
without objection.
And I ask unanimous consent that the following senators be allowed to speak for up to 5 minutes each. Senator Collins, Senator Schumer, Senator Sanders, and me.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Senator from Maine.
Mr. President, today the Senate Appropriations Committee advanced legislation to reopen government immediately, funding vital programs and resuming pay for federal
All right.
workers.
So they're opening the
who
government.
for the last 40 days have had to live with the stress of missed paychecks and not knowing when they would be paid. Under our legislation, all federal employees, including members of our military and Coast Guard, the Capitol Police officers, Border Patrol agents, TSA screeners, air traffic controllers, all will receive their back wages. It is significant that this measure also includes 3 full year, fiscal year 2026 appropriations bills, including the annual agriculture FDA bill, the military construction and Veterans Affairs legislation, very timely given that Veterans Day will soon be upon us, and the legislative branch funding. This 3-bill package, which originally passed the Senate on August 1st with overwhelming bipartisan support, 87 votes in 2 cases, 81 in another, will support our veterans, our troops, our farmers, and rural communities. Of note, this package will provide full-year funding for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP, and the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children, known as WIC. One of the most unfortunate and shameful consequences of the shutdown has been that these vital nutrition programs were in jeopardy for our most vulnerable families, including 170,000 Mainers who rely on the SNAP program. Other programs will be funded through January 30th, while the Senate and House continue our work on the remainder of the year-long appropriations bills. For example, funding for important programs like Head Start and such as the Low-Income Heating Assistance Program will now be restored. I look forward to voting for this legislation and ending the unnecessary harm to the security of our families and our nations. We must begin to act tonight. We must not delay any longer. Finally, Mr. President, I want to thank the many members on both sides of the aisle of the Appropriations Committee and the Senate leadership who have worked especially hard to bring this package together. And I would be remiss if I did not also thank our staff. My staff missed an entire night's sleep to get this package together and get the job done. Thank you, Mr. President. Again, I want to particularly thank the members of the Appropriations Committee, including the 3 who served as the subcommittee chairs, Senator Bozeman, Senator Hoeven, and Senator Mullen. I want to thank Senator Britt, who did an extraordinary amount of work, Lisa Murkowski, Mike Rounds, Jerry Moran, Sherry Moore Capito, Sydney Hyde-Smith, Deb Fisher. There's so many who worked so hard on this package. I want to thank each and every one of them. Let's get the job done, and let's do it fast. Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Hoeven in my list. Senator Hoeven was a rock star, so I want to make sure that I mentioned him. Thank you.
Senator from Vermont.
I understand that the way the process has been developed, it is impossible to delay the votes that are going to take place. And if that were not the case, that is certainly what I would do, because I think it is important that the American people fully understand what is being voted on today. Everybody in America knows that our current healthcare system is broken. It is dysfunctional. It is cruel. It is by far
It's Obamacare.
healthcare system in the world, and
He's talking about Obamacare.
Healthcare system of any major country that does not guarantee healthcare to all people as a human right, covering every man, woman, and child. We are unique in that respect. And yet tonight, what this Senate is about to do is make a horrific situation even worse. So let's be clear what this vote is about. If this vote succeeds, over 20 million Americans are going to see at least a doubling in their premiums in the Affordable Care Act. In my state of Vermont and throughout this country, for certain
And
groups
that's a
people,
piece of
it will be
shit
a tripling
program.
and a quadrupling of their
That's a piece of
premiums.
shit program.
There are people who will now be paying 50% of their limited incomes for health care. Does anybody in the world think that makes sense? And if this resolution
That's
is
Obamacare.
passed tonight,
Congratulations.
we are on a pathway to throw 15 million Americans off of Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. 15 million. Our job is to create universal health care. Guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child, not throw 15 million people off the health care they have.
If they're
Low-income
illegals,
and
they need to be
working-class
thrown
people.
out.
And my friends, know what you are voting on. Studies are out there that when you throw 15 million people off of health care, some 50,000 of our fellow Americans will die unnecessarily every single year. Anyone think that's funny?
That makes no
Something
sense.
to laugh at? Something to just
Are those
go
illegals we're
past?
talking about?
I don't. 50,000 Americans die unnecessarily. Now, I know as part of this resolution that the majority leader is going to say, well, Democrats can put together their own bill, and it'll come to the floor here in the Senate.
I'm not even
for a
feeling
vote.
him.
As everybody here knows,
He's just
that
weird.
is a totally meaningless gesture. You can get 100 votes here in the Senate. Won't mean anything because the House is not going to take it up, and the President of the United States certainly will not sign it. So, Mr. President, I hope that anybody here who is thinking of voting for this reconsiders, goes back home and talks to their constituents and asks them what it will mean if their health care premiums
sounds
are doubled
stupid.
or tripled. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Obamacare, right? Because
Democratic
Obamacare
leader.
is your benefits,
Mr. President.
your premiums.
America is in the midst of a
Oh, Lord.
Republican-made healthcare crisis, worse than anything the American people
And who
have
created
seen
that
in
crisis?
decades. Republicans have spent the past 10 months dismantling the healthcare system, skyrocketing costs, and
Say
making
thank you,
every
Obama.
day harder
Everything you say that.
for American families.
Say thank you,
Because of
Obama.
Republicans, Americans are going to suffer immensely as this healthcare crisis gets worse.
Nope.
Democrats have been fighting to end this crisis over and over again.
Nope.
Democrats have wanted to lower costs, but Republicans fought us every step of the way.
Because it's
We gave
Obamacare.
Republicans not one, not two, but 3 chances this year to extend the ACA premium tax credits. Republicans said no every time. On Friday, we offered Republicans a compromise, a proposal that would extend the ACA tax credits for a year and open up the government at the same time. They
No.
once again said
No.
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 And when they said no on our
That's
compromise, they
that's holding
showed
me
that they're
hostage.
against any health care reform.
Give you an extra year.
Instead,
Are you crazy?
they passed the biggest health care cuts in our nation's history just to give tax breaks to billionaires. And even then, they weren't satisfied with merely closing hospitals and community health clinics. They callously did nothing to deal with the looming crisis of ACA credits. Premiums will spike by thousands of dollars a month. Millions will lose insurance. Democrats have sounded the alarm. We have demanded
is
for
your
months to meet with the
program?
Republican leadership.
Why are
But
you
Republican leaders
bitching? It's your
refuse to even
program.
discuss the issue, let alone negotiate it.
Wait a
We've
minute.
asked
You
them to
can't
meet
be
in the summer and
bitching
throughout the
about his own
shutdown.
program.
To this day, Republicans still
Are you
say
kidding
no.
me?
We asked President Trump to
Yes, we
step
know
in
it's a
and meet
piece of
with us
shit.
to deliver lower
And
health
agree
care
that
for
the
Americans, and
Obamacare is a
instead,
piece of shit.
Donald Trump has taken the American people hostage.
What?
From cutting off food,
Now
aid
Donald
to
Trump,
hungry
you're bringing
families
Donald
and
Trump
vets
for
and
your
seniors
bullshit?
and kids, to
Are you
manufacturing flight
kidding me?
cancellations, to cutting off home heating
Oh
aid,
man,
while he builds a $1 billion
that's why I pay
ballroom
attention to the
with
government, man.
gold-plated
A lot of
toilets.
people don't pay attention. That's the problem, you know?
I
Because they're
must
too
vote
busy.
no.
They don't
This
listen.
healthcare crisis
They have
is so
they got
severe,
they got a life.
so urgent, so devastating for
But shit like
families
this,
back
you
home
gotta
that I
pay
cannot,
attention
in good
to.
faith, support this CR that fails to address the healthcare crisis.
Talking
But
about
let
the
me be
healthcare
clear.
crisis.
However
Who
this
created
vote
the
turns
healthcare
out,
crisis?
this
Obamacare.
fight will and must continue.
Oh, but you can't
Democrats
say
must
that, right?
fight because of millions
Big
of
dummy.
families will lose health care coverage. We must fight because children who are dying of cancer will not
Oh
get
Lord.
health care coverage.
Oh,
We must
give me my
fight
violin.
because a
I need to
senior
buy a
citizen cannot
violin.
afford to pay
That's gonna be
$25,000 a
my
year
Black
just for
Friday
health
purchase.
insurance.
I'm
We
gonna
must
go
fight to keep
and
millions
buy me
from
a
financial
violin.
ruin.
Just a
And
regular
make no mistake
violin.
about it, the American people know who is inflicting this healthcare trauma on them. Donald Trump and the Republicans. Americans will remember Republican intransigence every time they make a sky-high payment on health insurance. So we are going to fight legislatively, fight back home, fight in the courts, and bring this fight in the elections. Healthcare costs made a major impact on the 2025 election, and they will certainly have an even greater impact on the 2026 election.
Whose fault
So
is
in
that?
conclusion, the contrast
Whose
between the
fault is
two
that?
parties is crystal clear.
That's a
Republicans are the party hell-bent on taking people's health care away, all to bow to the billionaire elite and special interests. Democrats are united as the party of lower health care costs and
Stupid.
improving our health care system. We
They
will
sound
not give up this fight. We will deliver for the American people. I yield
They
the
sound
floor.
stupid. They sound stupid. He sounds stupid. Because he's fighting against the Obamacare that is expiring. So why is he going and acting all up if it's the Obamacare that is fucking up everyone's
Mr.
premium?
President.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, after 40 long days, I'm hopeful that we can finally bring this shutdown to an end. And I don't need to go over all the reasons why it's imperative that we get the government open as soon as possible. From the truly precarious situation we are in with regard to air travel to the fact that our staffs have been working without pay for a full 40 days now, all of us, Republicans and Democrats who support this bill, know that the time to act is now. And so in just a few minutes, I will call up the vehicle for a clean continuing resolution packaged with 3 bipartisan year-long appropriations bills: agricultural appropriations, military construction, VA appropriations, and legislative branch appropriations. These bills will fund SNAP for the entire fiscal year. They will fund WIC for the entire fiscal year. And they will fund our veterans for the entire fiscal year. After 40 days of uncertainty, I'm profoundly glad to be able to announce that nutrition programs, our veterans, and other critical priorities will have their full year funding. And my goal is to quickly move
All right,
to other
full year.
federal
Okay, good.
appropriations bills. As I've said
So
many
stressful.
times, I firmly believe that the way to fund the government is by passing appropriations bills through regular order, a process that gives senators from both parties the fullest chance to make their voices heard. Mr. President, I also want to mention health care. There's been a lot of talk over the last several weeks on both sides of the aisle about the health care crisis in this country. And I'm thankful to be able to say that we have senators, both Democrat and Republican, who are eager to get to work to address that crisis in a bipartisan way. These senators are not interested in political games. They're interested in finding real ways to address health care costs for American families. We also have a president who is willing to sit down and get to work on this issue. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what solutions might be brought forward. Regardless, as I have said for weeks to my Democrat friends, I will schedule a vote on their proposal. And I've committed to having that vote no later than the second week in December. Mr. President, again, I am optimistic that after almost 6 weeks of this shutdown, we'll finally be able to end it. I will call up that bill in a matter of minutes, and I look forward to passing the clean continuing resolution an appropriations bill package in the very near future. Now, Mr. President, I move to proceed to the motion to reconsider the cloture vote on October 16th on the motion to proceed to H.R. 5371.
The questions on the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Others no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The motion is agreed to.
Mr. President, I move to reconsider the cloture vote on the motion to proceed to H.R. 5371.
The questions on the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The motion's agreed to. The clerk will report the motion to invoke cloture.
Cloture motion. We, the undersigned senators, in accordance with the provisions of Rule 22 of the Standing Rules of the Senate, do hereby move to bring to a close debate on the motion to proceed to Calendar 168, H.R. 5371, an act making continuing appropriations and extensions for fiscal year 2026 and for other purposes.
Under the previous order, the mandatory quorum call under Rule 22 has been waived. The question is it the sense of the Senate that debate on the motion to proceed to H.R. 5371, an act making continuing appropriations and extensions for fiscal year 2026 and for other purposes shall be brought to a close upon reconsideration? The yeas and nays are mandatory under the rule. The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Alsobrooks, Ms. Baldwin, Mr. Banks, Mr. Barrasso, Mr. Bennett, Mrs. Blackburn, thank you.
So let's see if they're gonna open up the government.
Mrs.
Hopefully
Blackburn,
they do.
Mr. Blumenthal,
That Obamacare shit
Ms.
fucked up
Rochester,
the insurance,
Mr. Booker,
premiums and stuff, and a lot of people are like now bitching because the premiums are way too expensive, and it's true. And Obamacare is what fucked everything up, and this is like the death of the Obamacare, and the Democrats are all bitching and whining about it, but it's their own former president
Booker,
that
Mr.
did it.
Boozman,
So don't bitch at Trump. It's not Trump's fault. That's Obama's fault.
yeah,
But they like to deflect. They like to
that.
oh, it's not our fault. Fucking
Mrs. Britt,
idiots. I
Mr.
hope
Bud,
everyone's
Ms.
having a good night.
Cantwell, Mrs. Capito, Mr. Cassidy, Ms. Collins, Mr. Coons, Mr. Cornyn, Ms. Cortez Masto, Mr. Cotton, Mr. Kramer, Mr. Crapo, I got him, Mr. Cotton, Mr. Kramer, Mr. Crapo, Mr. Cruz, Mr. Curtis, Mr. Daines, Ms. Duckworth, Mr. Durbin, Ms. Ernst, Mr. Fetterman, Mrs. Fisher, Mr. Gallego, Mrs. Gillibrand, Mr. Graham, Mr. Grassley, Mr. Haggerty, Ms. Hassan, Mr. Hawley, Mr. Heinrich, Mr. Hickenlooper, Ms. Hirono, Mr. Hoven, Mr. Husted, Mrs. Hyde-Smith, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Justice, Mr. Kane, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Kim, Mr. King, Ms. Klobuchar, Mr. Langford, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lujan, Ms. Lummis, Mr. Markey, Mr. Marshall, Mr. McConnell, Mr. McCormick, Mr. Merkley, Mrs. Moody, Mr. Moran, Mr. Marino, Mr. Mullen, Ms. Murkowski, Mr. Murphy, Mrs. Murray, Mr. Ossoff, Mr. Padilla, Mr. Paul, Mr. Peters, Mr. Reed, Mr. Ricketts, Mr. Risch, Ms. Rosen, Mr. Rounds, Mr. Sanders, Mr. Schatz, Mr. Schiff, Mr. Schmidt, Mr. Schmidt, Mr. Schumer, Mr. Scott of Florida, Mr. Scott of South Carolina, Mrs. Shaheen, Mr. Sheehy, Ms. Slotkin, Ms. Smith, Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Thune, Mr. Tillis, Mr. Tuberville, Mr. Van Hollen, Mr. Warner, Mr. Warnock, Ms. Warren, Mr. Welch, Mr. Whitehouse, Mr. Wicker, Mr. Wyden, Mr. Young, Senators voting in the affirmative: Barrasso, Blackburn, Bozeman, Britt, Budd, Capito, Cassidy, Collins, Cotton, Kramer, Cruz, Curtis, Daines, Durbin, Fisher, Graham, Haggerty, Hoven, Husted, Hyde-Smith, Kane, Kennedy, King, Langford, Lummis, Marshall, McCormick, Moody, Moran, Marino, Mullen, Murkowski, Ricketts, Rounds, Schmidt, Sheehy, Sullivan, Thune, Tuberville, Wicker, and Young. Yep. Senators voting in the negative: Baldwin, Bennett, Cantwell, Duckworth, Hirono, Kelly, Kim, Markey, Padilla, Paul, Reed, Sanders, Warner, and Welch. Mr. Hickenlooper, no.
I just want to know the outcome of this, what it's going to be. That's what I want to know. That's why I have this playing right now. These people, these Democrats, man, they just need to just stop with their shit, you know? Stop bitching, man. Stop being little bitches. You know, okay, the Obamacare shit doesn't work. We know that shit. Like, let's come up with something, and let's come up with buy like Euro,
Bankside.
like have the parties together and come up with a good insurance, package.
No.
And then get it passed, and then why is it so hard for these people to like get along? I don't get it. These people they're just a bunch of Karens. especially the seniors, like, and the young ones too, because AOC is one big like puppet. That girl's one big puppet. Imagine Mandani as in Washington. Oh Lord, he's gonna try to run for president. You're gonna see. Mark my words. He'll run for president. Not this time around. It'll
No.
be probably for the 32, 2032. He'll probably run for president. Yeah, I have a feeling that he'll end up running 2032. But Mandani. President Mandani. You have to pray. You got the carpets already. You just need the mats. So everyone there gonna have to get on their knees and start praying. And they can't pray to their God. They have to pray to Allah. No, that's the infiltration. We're being invaded, and nobody's really paying attention.
Mr. Merkley. No.
This is gonna really hurt the if it doesn't pass tonight. We're looking at a possibly like throttle down and for the aircrafts and for for safety purposes.
Ms.
They're
Blood
gonna
Rochester, no.
they're
Mrs.
gonna
Murray, no.
they're gonna throttle down the planes and lower it to 20%, lower it by 20%. Could be more by Thanksgiving. So that's just now, and it's the 9th of November. Imagine by the time it gets to Thanksgiving, it might be down to maybe like 40-50% down, because if the government still stays closed and they don't open it, they're gonna have to, like, if that's what they want to end the filibuster. That's what the Democrats are praying for. They want them to the Republicans to turn and end the filibuster, because that benefits
No.
the Democrats in the future if they ever get the presidency, if they ever get back into power in all phases here, the like House, Senate, and Congress. All this like plays a big role, and the filibuster is something that this is what happens. You need a majority, and you need them. Like some of the Democrats to participate with the Republicans and to get the 60 vote. When all the Republicans vote, they got all 53 there.
Mr. Van Hollen, no.
But they need an additional 7, I believe, to make it to 60 to reopen the government.
Ms. Hassan, aye.
But I feel like this, like, if you were to take away their pay, these clowns here that are you seeing here on the screen, if you were to pause their pay and they wouldn't get paid at all, they're not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt them. Okay. These people you see here, they're multimillionaires themselves. A lot of inside trading. Okay.
Mr. Crapo, aye.
So these people got money, they got credit cards, they got, like, these people in front of you right here. Do not worry about them. Even if they pause their pay and stop their pay and whatever, it's not going to do anything to these people. Like, that's an empty threat. They're not going to go hungry. They will have their gourmet meal. They're going to have the best meal always. Doesn't matter. They put it on a credit card. it's more deeper and darker, you know, because the Democrats are bitching about the health care. Oh, the health care, the health care. Whose fault is the whole health care? Didn't we inherit it? Does Joe Biden? Trump has only been president for less than 11 months. What? Less than 11 months. He's been president. And this is from Biden
Mr.
era.
Gallego,
And,
no.
and now you want to punish the
Mr.
people
Schiff,
and
no.
not give them their benefits? I mean, I believe food stamp, the
Mr. Scott
EBT
of South Carolina, aye.
needs to be needs to be investigated. I feel like there's a lot of illegals that are in the EBT program and in programs that they're not supposed to, like housing and taking up vouchers and space and apartments to those that could have gone to Americans and veterans. Like they decided to give it all to illegals and give them like credit cards and here's thousands upon thousands of dollars. Go buy yourself some clothes and shoes and cell phones and like brand new cars and like what the fuck? I'm American. I don't even get that. And these illegals just come in and they get like it's like they turn into like the material girl, I guess, because I hear the Madonna song playing in my head. Living in the material
Mr.
world,
Tillis, aye.
I just feel like
Mr.
I
Justice,
don't know.
aye.
I'm just witnessing things that I'm gonna have to take with me to the next life,
Ms.
my next
Cortez
life.
Masto, aye. Mrs. Shaheen, aye.
I'm witnessing things that when I do pass, that I'm gonna take it on and report to the baby Jesus and tell him, listen, man, you got my joint ready? Because I got something to tell you. I got a lot of stuff to tell you. He's like, no, I know. I've been watching, man. These fuckers. Like, I sacrificed so much for
Lujan,
them and they still can't get
no.
it right. They still can't get it.
Mr. Heinrich, no.
It's like Jesus would be so disappointed in all these people right now. Like, the selfishness, the listen, I say help all Americans and the illegals, they need to go home. Do not put money in their EBTs. Do not put money in their housing. Do not. They need to go. That's the only way you're gonna get them out. Because they're like, oh, the gig is up. We don't got no money. We gotta go back home. Take your $1,000 check for each person, but I think you should leave that money here because you owe us so much money that's not even funny. I feel like this was like the worst invasion, like right in your face invasion, and no one did anything about it. That's how weak America is. The people in America, super weak. Super, super weak. And they let the invasion happen. And now you're bitching and whining. Oh my god, my grocery bill is so expensive. Oh my god, my car insurance is so expensive. Oh my god, my rent is so expensive. My light bill is so expensive. Oh, now I need a violin. I tell you, I need to buy a violin. I need to get one. Black Friday is coming up soon.
Ms. Smith, no.
Black Friday is coming soon, and I would like to possibly make myself a purchase of a violin. I'm gonna go to the music store over here. They have
Ms. Rosen,
Sam's,
aye.
like a music store. Where they sell like guitars. It's like a guitar center. But I'm sure they sell violins. I said I want the cheapest and easiest to play. So every single time I could just play here, like just play the violin. I'm telling you, this world, this world needs an enema. I like changing my candles when they go off. I like the warmth. It keeps the room like really warm. Like turn on the candles because it's pretty cool outside. Temperatures are really nice up here in the Northeast.
Ms. Alsobrooks, no.
You know, it's pretty nice up here, and it's raining
Ms. Warren, no.
on and off. The leaves are already turning to a dried out color, and pretty soon they'll all fall. Give it about a few more days with a couple of strong systems that they come through with wind. They'll knock all the leaves down because they're at that point that they're about to all fall. In many areas, a lot of the trees have their leaves
Mr.
are down.
Murphy, no.
But I wonder when we're gonna get our first true snowstorm. That's what I want to know. When is Connecticut gonna get their first true snowfall? It makes you wonder. It makes me wonder.
Mr. McConnell, aye. Mr. Whitehouse, no. Mr. Fetterman, aye. Mr. Warnock, no.
Oh Lord, they need to hurry the fuck up. I'm getting tired. It's been 3 hours. That's how I was gonna
Mr.
do a
Risch,
show.
aye.
The shows end up being longer. I thought I was gonna have a short
Mr.
show.
Blumenthal, no.
Shit, this show ended up being long. I just want to know what the vote is. Just curious, you know. Let me see if we're a little behind. Can we? Like this is pathetic. You know, look how they're sitting around here. Like this is America. This is what our money pays for. This is what the tax money go to. This is what they're doing. You know? Everybody's just standing around gossiping like I don't know. But that's what the Democrats want. They want to end the filibuster because it would give them the advantage. It would give them an advantage if they ever take over office and by some miracle they win an election, that would play big in their favor, you know, and they know it. So that's why they're holding out for as long as possible, so that way the Republicans submit and then get rid of the filibuster, and then games on for the future. Because if the Democrats ever take over, they're gonna like really do very horrible harm to the country. So, I learned only, it only take me one time, to learn things. And a lot of people are just, they don't pay attention. I think that's the biggest problem with society. Like, they don't pay attention. I'm watching these individuals like a hawk. I'm looking at them, seeing what they're doing, looking at what, like that lady in the red with the white hair, what she's doing. Like, she's in conversation now. Like, all these people, like, that's their job. Like this lady right here, she's talking to him and talking to him too. So this is like a tried conversation. Like, everybody's on their own little conversations. See, a little pat in the back over here. This lady is very hand aggressive for her conversation. All right, he left that conversation. He came back to over here. Here's another camera from the other side, because they have cameras on both sides here. Got this little gentleman here just sitting on the step, like, what the fuck, man? I could be doing other better things in my life. I'm just a fucking intern sitting here. Like, yeah. And he's not getting paid. I'm pretty sure he's probably not getting paid because the government's shut down. So it's just a weird setup. Like, this whole setup is just very weird. And they're just standing around. That's what the taxpayers' money paid for. Our money went to this shit. Fuck the filibuster. I say end the government. Let's go bigger. Fuck it. You want to act stupid with the American people's money? Okay, let's do this. End the government. Disassemble the government. Get rid of the Democrats. Get rid of the Republicans. Start all over. How about that? What? Everybody would say, you're crazy, Rick. I'm like, well, continue on with this bullshit and see how long it lasts. Enjoy life, because it's going to be a very rough ride. It's just, this is what we have, or this is what they do. Like, they're just hanging there. They're just chilling. Like, they mute the mics so you don't hear the conversations and stuff. So their mics are muted. Because there's conversations, it's kind of a little noisy there, but when they mute the mics, you don't really hear it. But I don't know. Will the Democrats run this until Thanksgiving? Because that's really, to be honest with you, that hurts the government big time. Because that's a lot of money. You gotta understand, these planes, like, they need to be operational, right, to make profits. And not only that, but you're gonna have a lot of employees that are gonna be furloughed because of it. Because remember, 20% or whatever percent that you're gonna take offline, guess what? Those employees don't have a job. They're gonna be taken off. And they're going to be like, sorry, you have to be furloughed because of the government shutdown. So, there's no flights. Even the pilots are going to have to be put on the sidelines and furloughed. And that's for what? Because of the Democrats? Because they want their health care fixed? The one that Obama fucked up and Biden continued on with his bullshit? And now that we have Trump in, and now it's the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity because of their mistakes and their bullshit, and now they want to blame Trump? Are you kidding me, right? You're fucking kidding me. Oh my god. Help me. I feel like I'm just living in hell right now. And when I die, I'll go to heaven, you know? So that's how it feels. That's how it feels to me. I feel like this is hell. And I'm like, damn, man. That's okay. It was an interesting hell. And now I go to heaven and see where that is and what energy. Because I feel like we get back into static energy. When we die, we turn into static energy. And that's why like we stay in the atmosphere, like within our areas and stuff. And yeah, I think we're just energy. We're just stagnant energy, and things happen, and you could come back to the to Earth. You could come back and be reincarnated. You know, and it's just the soul that comes back, but you won't remember anything. You won't. Some people they do. They remember their afterlife and stuff and how they die and everything, and those are very unique ones. But a lot of people they come back, they don't remember their past lives and past energies. So, because this is not our first rodeo, like this is not our first rodeo. We've been here before, many times before. Different forms, different people, but all different situations to get us to this point in life to witness what we're witnessing. It's just people hanging out. I just see people hanging out. But Connecticut did fund, I don't know if they fund all the food stamps or EBT, but they did fund a good amount. And when I went to Walmart, I saw this like person like with a lot of kids and had a lot of shopping carts. I was like, oh man, this is the mess, This is what fucks up the program. This lady's walking around with 4 shopping carts, and all her kids. And it's like I was happy I got there early and I did a little groceries and I was like, all right, I'm out. Like I just got the important stuff and then I was just out. And I was happy to be out because the lines as soon as I got to the register, I was like, there was only one person in front of me. Right. So I was putting out my stuff and everything. And by the time I got to to bag my stuff, like to put in the cart, I look back and there's like 5 people waiting behind me. I was like, what the fuck? All these people came from? Like everybody started cashing out. And I was like, and the cashier's like, the vacation's over. He told me just like that. She was like, the vacation is over. I was like, yeah, the vacation's over. You're going to be very busy. I hope your arms and your back is feeling okay today. I was like, I'm out. I was like, I want to get out of there so fast. I don't like being there. I went in there this morning early to get a few things, but I was like, oh, I took advantage, and I was like, because they had food. There was a lot of food on the shelves, and like the bacon aisle had a lot of bacon. Like there was like usually before that shit was always empty. They never stock up. They never had enough time to stock up or anything. But since like nobody got their shit, they were able to stock up on everything. And it looked nice and full. It looked like a different supermarket. I was like, damn, what the hell? So I was able to get a bacon. I was able to get some stuff, and I was good. I had a good time shopping. But my back regretted. I regretted coming when I got back home. I was so tired. My body was hurting. I took my medicine. I was still aching. I took a nap because I was exhausted. Because for some reason my body's been very exhausted. And I'm still getting those those head pains. I got it last night, and it's very traumatic. You know, when it happens, it's very traumatic in my head. So I'm hoping tomorrow when I go see the doctor, see what they say, because I really need to do this sleep study. You know, so it is what it is. It's just gotta get it, see what the hell is going on there. That's all I can really do, you know. Oh, it's crazy. I hope that everyone had a good weekend. It was a pretty good weekend. This thing has been muted for so long. I don't even know what's going on. I would hate to go to another channel and do something like watch something else. I guess there was an earthquake, a series of small earthquakes rattle San Ramon area. Okay. Had a couple of earthquakes on that way. It's not the big one. As soon as that big one hits, I'll report on it. I'll definitely report on it. What's this one? Okay. I don't know where they're at with their voting stuff. I'm gonna just pause it and wait for the whatever's gonna happen. It's just I don't know how long this shit's gonna take. You know, this one's sitting down. This person been sitting down here for like the longest. Got up for a second, but then he got back down. He was like, "Fuck this shit. I'm sitting. They're not paying me enough to stand up. Fuck that." So he leaves, and then she comes, and then she sits. What the hell is that? What type of job is that? That they sit here and they rotate. So they rotate, and then she comes and sits down. I wonder what's her job title name is. I want to know what's her title. Do you know anyone in the chat? Anyone who's watching in the future? Just put it in the comments. Who are these people that are sitting down here at the edge of the table? And we just saw one stand up and walk away, and she came and she took his place. So I don't know. I don't know what this is about. I would like to know her title. If anyone knows, please let me know. Because I don't know. Maybe the G word will know. Take a screenshot and be like, okay, circle this. It's like, okay, what's her job title? You show the picture and then you just circle, what's her job title? Because she's sitting down. He was sitting down before, I guess. I don't know. I'm so confused. Here's another one sitting down. What's going on here? Like they're just sitting here on the edge. You have one on the other side over here. She's sitting down over here. Now this one is over here sitting down. So their job is to sit down on the edge. I'm sitting on the edge. I don't know what's happening. Oh Lord. All right. Let's go ahead and pause this and then let's check this out here. Give me a second to set it up.
If you want to see what congressional Democrats wish to do to America. Just look at the result of yesterday's election in New York, where their party installed a communist as the mayor of the largest city in the nation. As I've warned for many years, our opponents are hell-bent on turning America into a communist Cuba or socialist Venezuela, and you see what happened to those places.
There's no longer any doubt about the left's embrace of socialism. Zohran Mamdani will be sworn in as mayor of America's largest city and is doubling down on his radical agenda, despite businesses and parents looking to move their companies and families out of the Big Apple as fast as they can. But is it really a surprise that the far-left progressives have finally taken their place at the helm of the party? Even Nancy Pelosi is getting out of Dodge, a final change of the guard. So what does it all mean for 2026 and the Republicans mounting their midterm battle? Let's ask Ohio gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, got to ask you about this. I mean, we knew the likelihood of a Mamdani win in New York City, but now that it's official, does it shock you? Does it feel like an entire city has forgotten the lessons of history?
Well, look, of course, New York City used to be a great American city that was the embodiment of capitalism, of success, of ambition. So it is shocking. It should shock us when you take a big step back to see a self-described socialist now leading that city. Lara, President Trump has done his part, secure the border. He's done his part in securing international peace. But now it's up to state and local leaders as well to focus on domestic economics. Because as bad as his solutions are, Mamdani's solutions are, he was still pointing to a problem that's affecting a lot of Americans. That's the problem of affordability. And the irony is we in the Republican Party have the right answers. Increase the supply of housing, of energy, of electricity. And yet we need to be focused more on that issue more than anything else, I think, heading into 2026. And if we do that, I think that that will be a nice warning call this last week's election to help us wake up and deliver big victories again in 26.
Well, that is definitely the hope. And hopefully it was a wake-up call for a lot of people. I think it is shocking, though, to see that this Vivek seems like the future of the Democrat Party. I mean, maybe we should take a quick moment of silence for Nancy Pelosi. She announced her retirement. She's been in politics, Vivek, probably longer than you and I have even been alive and on this planet. But she's leaving. And does that signify to you a bit of a changing of the guard? Is this now her passing the baton on to the next generation of leaders who look like the AOCs and the Mamdanis of the world?
Look, you're seeing that at multiple levels. You saw Nancy Pelosi obviously retiring this week, but you also look at Mamdani defeating Cuomo in the Democrat Party's primary. That is the well-connected, backslapping politician of yesterday. That era has passed. Now, I think for America, it's actually a good thing, especially for moving on from this gerontocracy. But the real answer is we as Republicans have to offer our own alternative vision to what this new youthful socialist wing of the Democrat Party stands for. I think we have youthful energy on our own side, but the more we're talking about reviving that American dream for young people, so many young people on both sides of the aisle feel like home ownership is just a little bit out of reach. They work hard, but they're not quite getting ahead in the economy. We've got the solutions and we're delivering them. President Trump is delivering them. But we have to make that now the top focus after having solved the border crisis, after having secured international peace. This is the next frontier, and I'm confident we're going to nail it. The problem is, otherwise, amongst young people, socialism is now more popular than capitalism. It was the youth vote that propelled Mamdani in that election. That youth vote wasn't going for Pelosi, so she's retiring, she's off the scene. They weren't going for the Cuomo era. But they're going to go for these new democratic socialists unless we offer that alternative vision, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, we have to offer an alternative vision. And we're a year out, Vivek, from you being on the ballot in Ohio, from a big midterm election coming up. So what is your advice to Republicans? What is your advice for ensuring that these midterms go the way that we want to see them go so that we can continue to make America great again?
Excellent. So we have to focus on our vision of the American dream, bring down costs, and make the American dream more affordable. Bring down the cost of housing, build more homes. Bring down those electric bills, produce more energy. Bring down the crazy healthcare costs. Bring down the cost of living in this country. And if we're able to do that while growing the economy, not with socialist solutions like freezing the rent or controlling grocery stores, but through true pro-capitalist solutions, Capitalism is the best system known to the history of man to lift people up from poverty. We're going to be successful. And I know that American dream exists, Lara, just like you. I've lived it, right? My parents came to this country half a century ago with nothing. And in a single generation to found successful companies, now potentially lead that very state of Ohio where I was born and raised. That story is normal in the United States of America. We need to celebrate that, grow our coalition, and I think we're going to do it. I think, yes, last week in New York is a little bit of a shot in the arm from time to time, a good thing. I think it is. A little bit of hardship, a little bit of bumps along the way. That's not victimhood. That's what helps us discover who we are. And I'm confident we're going to be in a strong position if we focus on the economy, particularly affordability heading into 26. That's my advice for Republicans.
Well, you know what, Vivek, we're looking to you. You are one of the great leaders in this party. You're the next generation of leadership in this party. And as we're heading into next year, obviously you're going to make a pitch in Ohio there. So what are your goals there in Ohio?
So the goal is, number one, put more money in people's pockets. Property taxes are way too high. Many people are paying more in property taxes than the principal and interest repayments on their mortgage. We're bringing that down, but doing that while also improving the quality of educational achievement. And for parents across the state, Lara, that's a big deal. Right now, the average student in the United States is performing 4 academic years behind the average student in many parts of China. That doesn't work for us. And so we're going to improve academic standards in our public schools while also bringing down government overgrowth and bringing down the property taxes and income taxes that go along with that. So we're putting more money in your pocket, growing the economy, bringing higher paying jobs, and filling those jobs with people who are coming out with K through 12 education that's actually of a quality that allows them to either join the workforce or get a great education afterwards. That's my focus, economy and education. People are ready for it. And I hope you've done such a great job. You know, I know you're in Florida. Florida's done a great job. Texas has done a great job. Tennessee's done such a great job of setting national examples. Hopefully, starting in about a year, Ohio will be the state that then paves the way to the next chapter of American greatness.
Well, be careful, Vivek, because you could have a lot of people, a lot of liberals leaving New York City trying to come for Ohio next. So watch what you wish for. But you are the best. Thank you, my friend. We appreciate you joining us.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Wow.
Hey, click here to subscribe.
That's true, because they keep coming after Ohio. And they bring their craziness to Ohio. All right, let me bring it to me. I'm already getting tired, so I'm going to get off of here. Because I was going to get off earlier, and I'm like an hour and a half into it after like then 3 hours and a half later. I'm like, I should have been done 2 hours ago. But it's okay. I finished my second joint, so feeling good. I'm just gonna relax, start calming down for the night, and just try to get myself ready and get to bed early tonight. I'll be back on here tomorrow, and we'll see what happens with the vote. Hopefully, they'll open the government, but in reality, I don't see them doing it because they want Trump to end the filibuster. They've been doing this for they want that to happen. They want them to end the filibuster. Because then in the future, they're going to go after Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. to make them states, to add more seats, Democratic seats. And then they don't have to worry about a filibuster because there's no filibuster. So they would be the majority and they get everything passed because it's their way and it's because they have all the people there. So they keep playing those games. That's not what our forefathers, like our founding fathers, want us to go through. But I guess they found loopholes, and now we're going through circles. So this reality is so weird. We're living in a really weird timeline. But I'm gonna get going because, like I said, I want to relax, chill, enjoy my Sunday night like you guys are doing. And I'll catch you on them all. So have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night. And I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm going to see if I go in the morning and see if I can get some video of some prices of meat, like especially the beef in Walmart, and compare it to other places that they have meat and show their prices, because I think a lot of people are eating meat, yes, but a lot of illegals are eating meat. So you got to remember, there's a lot of mouths. Well, they got a lot of stomachs, and there's a lot of asses out there, and they're eating up all our foods, and then they're passing the bill to us. And why? I mean, oh, what do you mean they're passing the bill to us? Yes, because now the prices are like double, triple the price that it was before. You know, it's more expensive. And it's like we're the ones being punished because now they put up the prices more and then we can't afford it. And it's like, what the fuck, man? That's crazy. You know, if those illegals weren't here, trust me, those mouths won't be here and the prices will be low because there's enough food for everyone when we have just Americans and the ones that are supposed to be here. There's enough food for us, but there's not enough food to feed millions upon millions of people that came through the border. And now they want a hand-me-downs and they're going like this. And then the government's just giving them all they want. And then they're taking out our taxes and our benefits. And everybody else gets screwed. But they're illegals. Don't worry about it. You'll get your $3,000 every month. Like, are you kidding me? Like, imagine you go, like that's one of the best vacations ever. Like imagine I'll go to another country and then be like, you have to give me free housing, you have to give me free food, you have to give me free car, you have to give me free education, you have to give me free medical, you have to give me, and you have to give me a credit card, and every month you have to put $3,000 inside of it for $3,000 for food and separate $3,000 for cash. And I want a new car too. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. What the hell? But the United States went ahead and did that. That's crazy, man. I don't know what timeline I'm living in, but I'm living in one fucked up one for sure. All right, guys. You guys have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.